have a caller all of a sudden, but I'm not sure we're going to be taking calls right now. Jeremy, can you call back in the second half of the show?
Okay, because we don't have. It seems that your website is down. We don't hear you anymore by the website.
Vous parlez en français?
Website's not down. I'm looking right at it.
The website is not down, Jeremy. Freedomslips.com. Visit that site, and if you cannot get in the chat room, you have to refresh the page. There's been issues trying to get in the chat room. I myself experience that every day. So Jeremy, what's going on? Refresh.
Okay, I see. Because there's another one on Twitter that is asking because we don't hear the radio anymore via the
we
the
went
website.
off. I had an internet. God, people. If the radio stops for a second, all you got to do is close it and reopen it again. I went off the internet for like a millisecond here because I got kids on Netflix and it sometimes knocks me off the air. So we were off the air for 1 second. We now have 7,100 people tuned in, so somebody's tuned in. So go back in and just give it another shot, please.
Okay, I will reboot my machine and I will see what it gives, okay?
Okay, and the best thing to do, honestly, the best thing for everybody to do, I put these players up, but they're Flash players. They're regular web players. They have bugs. They're buggy. I've tried 30 different ones. I've even wrote my own. There's always some kind of network issue that makes them not work very well. The best thing to do is download a Winamp at winamp.com and tune in through the Winamp link on the sidebar. That is the very best way to do it.
I have a Macintosh, not a Windows. They have
a version of Winamp for everything, even Android.
Android, okay, because I have a Macintosh, I don't use, and I only use my PC for the games, not for serious things. For serious things, I use my MacBook Pro.
Okay, Jeremy, thanks a lot for the call. Do the refresh on the page there. You'll get the tune in. Thanks a lot for the call. Sorry for that, Sheilaaliens. We got started a little bit late, but that's okay if you want to stay with us an extra 15 minutes. We won't kill you. So, like I said, you are now tuned into the Phenomenal ETs with this week's guest, Sheilaaliens. Sheila has a huge YouTube account. She has a lot of videos with a lot of views, hundreds of thousands, and actually over 8 million views altogether. So, Sheila, what's up? How's it going?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
Well, very good. I was going over some of your videos today, getting caught up and getting freshened with your material. What's on your mind? What are some of the things that you'd like to cover today? We do want to cover, ET-like experiences, but we also know that you are the guest and you have many other aspects of what you do in YouTube and what have you. So it's your show. Let's hear it. What are you about?
No, I don't have much to say really about YouTube, but did you interview James Sheilaaliens? I saw that on the internet somewhere.
Yes, we had him like a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's so cool. I just wanted to clarify that. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, it's in our archive section. Our archives are $35 for a 6-month period, but that 6 months will probably be extended to a year, so $35 helps support the site, and you can get all those past archives.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, James Sheilaaliens, how do you know him?
I don't know him, but I like his work, and I think that he's seen a lot of the same UFOs that I see, and a lot of people have seen on YouTube that they post. I can just tell that he's for real, and it would have been interesting to hear his interview.
Yeah, he was here actually two times. I think 2 weeks ago, and then when we had him, he was my first guest actually, which is pretty funny. He actually 3 years ago I met him. I went to his ranch on the West Coast, and that's how I got to meet him face to face. He made me some chicken dinner, huge chicken out there on the West Coast, and I got to meet him. You're not too far from Washington, no? So maybe you should go visit him one day.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool. So you don't want to talk about YouTube too much. You've got great videos on YouTube. What are some of the? Go ahead.
I started on YouTube just recording UFOs. I didn't have a camera, so I was using these webcams that the city operates here in Tucson, and you can control them from the internet. And so I would just record my screen, and so somehow the news channel here in Tucson caught wind of it, and they interviewed me about it. And that's when I was on TV, and then it just got kind of more popular after that.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that video. Is there a way you can turn up the volume on your celly, by any chance? Some of our listeners in the chat room are saying, turn it up.
Maybe, any better?
Yeah, well, just try your best, and if they can't, they can always turn up the player. Okay. Great. So aliens, what got you on the alien tip? The UFOs, extraterrestrials. What was your first experience? What got you onto them?
I've always been interested in aliens and UFOs, but I didn't really UFO hunt or anything. I'm not sure. It just occurred to me one day that I could use those cameras to look for UFOs, and I just really got into it. I never thought I would actually see one in person until I started seeing them. So
now you became crazy. Now you're crazy like the rest of us.
Yep, I definitely dived in.
Yeah, we have a couple of chatters in the chat room. One of them always says, "Don't talk about seeing them. Talk about why they're here, what they have to do with our government, and what have you." And when you get into stuff, why they're here, that's a great question. But when you get into the government aspect of it, it becomes negative, and I don't want to push too much negativity on something I think is so beautiful. And I had my ET experience a while back, maybe 4 years ago, and I continue to see them, and wonderful ones. Well, how about you? Do you see them without the cameras, without just going outside and looking in the night sky?
I've never been visited that I know of, unfortunately. I don't see them, I don't see beings or anything. I just see UFOs, which could very well be military, but I don't think they're all military, not all of them. But no, I've never seen aliens.
That's what I mean, ships, because they're not going to necessarily come down to everyone face to face, although they have. I think they definitely choose who they're going to come down to.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I actually turned up my microphone earlier this afternoon, so I just need to turn it down. The studio saying you're so loud. Well, sorry, folks.
No, actually, if you turn down, then I can turn the whole deal up, and we can hear her. So.
Well, freedomslips.com is the website. Come and join us in our chat room. Test 1, 2. Buckle your shoe. Okay. I'm here with Sheilaaliens.
Hey, Sheila, say something.
Sorry, boss.
I wanted Sheila to say something. I want to see how your balance is.
Oh.
There we go. Much better, much better. Now everybody can hear you.
Okay, cool.
So, one of the videos, the first one that popped up actually when I went to your site today, was these strange noises that come from, I don't know. Do you want to explain what that video was all about? These weird noises we're hearing all around the world?
Yeah, which one was it? Does it say what location? Because I have a lot.
Ontario, actually. That was pretty funny because I'm right beside it. Windsor, I think you were referring to Windsor, Ontario.
Yeah, that is a weird noise. It sounds more like kind of like soldiers marching or something. It's not the same noise being heard at other places, but I don't know. That one is definitely haunting the whole town there, so they say, and nobody can just go out and find what the cause of it is, which is a little weird to me, but I don't know what that might be, drilling or I don't know. And then go ahead.
Yeah, no, they're hearing them around the world. Ukraine, Belarus, a lot of places, and they get pretty ominous sounding. Now, Some people said they heard it at a baseball game, and it was reported on, I don't know if that was your site. It was reported in the news right during a baseball game that they heard this noise, and the commentators commented, and it was right before the earthquake that New York had. I think it was minuscule, a 2.3. Don't quote me on it. Again today, with Virginia having another 4.2, 3. Don't quote me on that again. So these sounds are pretty intriguing. What they could be. Maybe not necessarily ET related.
Maybe. I did post a video about that because it was actually the 23rd when Virginia had a 5.8 earthquake, and right before that, late in the night on the 22nd was when that noise was heard in Florida, and I had the video on my site, Sheilaaliens, on YouTube, and it's not the same sound being heard. You know, that there's a scary sound from the Ukraine, which is different, but this one sounds like somebody had a big door open and there was wind escaping from it or something, and they attributed it to the PA system, but I don't know if I believe that, because I saw this report saying that it was actually a nuclear attack underground on these underground bases at Virginia and Colorado.
Incredible.
So it's kind of it's a far out report, but
that's what these are. Everything we do is far out there for the average person, right? That's what makes us so crazy. We love it here. We do have a question from the chat room. And callers, if you'd like, Sheila, we could take callers maybe at the top of the hour. It's up to you. And we can see how it goes from there. But right now we're talking with Sheilaaliens. I don't know if she has a website. Do you have a website?
No, just my YouTube. It's youtube.com/Sheilaaliens.
Cool. Meow. Great. We have a question from the chat room. This is from listener 8368. What does Sheila think about Terence McKenna's take on UFOs? I'm not sure who Terence McKenna is. Do you?
Terence, of course. He's awesome. I love listening to his stuff. But he passed away, unfortunately. But I never really heard that much about ETs from him. I know he did believe in them, but I didn't hear that much from him about them, so I'm not sure. That's a pretty specific question. I know Terence McKenna was awesome, so whatever he thought was probably...
whatever he said. Yeah, listen to him as close to the truth.
He's awesome.
Very, very cool. Thanks a lot. And that question came from our chat room, freedomslips.com. Please join us because we're here with Sheilaaliens and we're getting her take on things. If I gather it, you live in the Arizona area.
Yep, I live in Tucson, Arizona, about an hour south of Phoenix.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's where the Phoenix Lights were a little while back. You did that get you intrigued, or were you not on Aliens at that point?
I wasn't even paying attention back then, so unfortunately I didn't really know when it happened. Yeah. That's
right. We're all waking up right now. That's the internet for you. So
True,
it does have its perks. I'll tell you that much. What do you in your videos? You do a lot of videos about chemtrails and there's a few about earthquakes. What do you think is happening globally, in your opinion, to either do with the destruction of our planet and or maybe extraterrestrials coming in and stopping it? What do you think is your opinion on what this whole issue is going around globally? The destruction of Earth, the chemtrails, the pollution in our water, the GMOs, all this destruction across the globe. What do you think about that?
I think it all seems a little contrived, and it's all happening the way that, we knew it was going to happen and the way that it was prophesized or whatever. And that just tells me that, A, the prophecies were, put in place by something evil to begin with, and then now the evil is carrying out basically these attacks like the BP oil spill and Fukushima. I consider those kind of things, they feel more like attacks, and same with the tornadoes in April. So I think man-made, somehow it's manufactured, and they just throw in religious stuff to get people to believe it.
Throw in religious stuff. That's what we should do. We should throw out religious stuff at sometimes, because it gets confusing. Everybody looks to, I guess, their leader for answers and questions, and they don't look within. And I think that's a lot of people's downfall. Why is this world the way it is? And then you see them polluting, driving 5.7, engines and what have you, and they just question it all. But it gets kind of funny. Do you think that these new... Aliens... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you.
I think the aliens are somehow... They're helping us somehow, because nothing much came of the oil spill. That's kind of weird to me. I even think their scores would be like black or something. Nothing
much in the way of how do you mean?
That we know of. It doesn't seem to have affected our ecosystem that much, but maybe it has more than they're letting us know. I don't know. But it just seems like Earth is able to recover from the things that we're doing to it.
Well, that's a good point. Maybe she is very strong and agile. Maybe she can take our abuse, but I don't know if the Gulf of Mexico was actually, it was overlooked in the sense that they dropped it ever since, but when it was on the front burner, boy, it was huge, and what they needed to do was mask it the best way they knew how, and that was with the Corexit, and there is still sea creatures and what have you washing up on shore. The oil is resurfacing. I don't know what the areas were, but there's some late footage of it, and you can dig up sand, and you weren't allowed to dig at one point because it was like maybe a foot or 2 feet underneath the sand, and it's just horrid. So, maybe Mother Earth will, take back the oil and work its way out, but a lot of people were assuming that it was to halt the waterways, like the stream, the hot and the cold, to basically cause a ice age in the northern part of the world. So there's a lot of skepticism about what it was all about, and I think it was just way too suspicious. Oh, you
I hadn't even thought, I hadn't thought about that, so I didn't know that could be.
Neither do I. It's all what we do here, Revolution Radio, is we investigate, and sometimes we don't know it all. We like to check it out and ask other people their opinions, what they think about it, and it could be a hoax, could be true, could be So we never claim to know anything. I think that's the best way. Always be on the search. Are you familiar with Richard Hoagland's work?
Yeah, I hear him on Coast to Coast sometimes.
Okay. And opinions?
George Murray.
Oh, yeah, we just wanted to give a shout-out to Joseph Arado real quick.
Okay.
Wait,
whoever
he's shouting out
Joseph.
to me either.
No, I think he's Joseph. The name might be in our chat room here, freedomslips.com. Oh, I know why. That was the caller when you had just before you'd called in. I think that's his name. That's why he's giving him the shout out. It's an inside joke, and maybe he forgot to unmute his button. He muted it, then unmuted it. Sorry, Sheila.
Okay.
So what are some of the things on your mind? I want to know. I want to know about you. This is your show, and I can pop questions to you, but I don't want to put you on the spot. Just what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. You can put me on the spot. There's nothing I don't mind discussing. So I'm not one to sit and talk about myself. So I kind of need questions.
Yeah, true. Well, I get the question all the time, how do you know that they're aliens? How do you know that they're not man-made, back-engineered, stuff like that? Well, back-engineered right there is self-evident, but how do you know you're not looking at military? So you should be like Sheila Military. please elaborate. Sorry?
Okay, well, the reason my name is Sheilaaliens because I think my name, if you spell it backwards, is aliens. So I just was being cute with the name. I spelled my name, but as far as aliens go, first of all, I believe in them, definitely, and I live right by a military base, and I know that some of the UFOs I see are military, but sometimes they're not, and I think those ones show themselves in special ways. Like, I'll ask for a sighting, and then I'll see something really crazy and beautiful. One time, there was this YouTuber, Orion Still, and he lives in, I think, New York, and he said that his alien girl was going to come visit me, and the next day I had this really amazing sighting. And it's on my site, and it says, it's called Sparkling Beautiful UFO, and this big, bright UFO came, and those ones are obviously, I think, aliens, but then the military ones are just definitely, those are weird, but they're not as pretty or anything like that. So there's both, definitely.
Cool. Well, we have a question in the chat room. And when is she going to talk about UFOs? Well, we're talking about everything. We're talking about what Sheila wants to talk about. And UFOs are the basis of our whole discovery. We have been talking about them. You said you looked at, what are they called, CCTV cameras? What's the proper name?
I'm not sure. There's controllable webcams at transview.org/cameras. It's a Tucson website. They're just Java-based web cameras.
Okay, and they overlook, let's say, the night skies or the cities, roadways.
Yes, and you can see, stuff like that.
And that's what she looks at to look at UFOs for our chatter in here who no fluff wanted to know if you're going to talk about UFOs. UFOs, name me some of the things that you've seen in the sky without a camera, if any.
Well, those cameras, I don't know. I have a real camera now, so I've seen a lot of stuff. But I saw the Phoenix lights on the Phoenix webcam last year on November 5th, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They showed up on the webcam at phoenixnews.net, and I have the video on my website. So those definitely are still going on there. And other sightings I've had, all kinds. I mean, I have so many UFO videos of what I've seen. I mean, I've seen all kinds of cool stuff.
Okay. What do you think they are? Why do you think they're here? Why do you think they come to you, Sheila, and not Johnny Boy down the street? Why are you special? Why am I special? Why?
I think everyone's special. Because I want to see them, I do. I mean, I started going out every single night with the camera just to see them, whether I was successful or not. And maybe it was just my dedication. Maybe it finally started to pay off pretty quickly. And who's to say that if somebody else did that it wouldn't pay off quickly for them too? It probably would. I think if you want to see them, you will.
Yeah. I don't even know how I saw them. They just came to me. So yeah, now we're looking for them. Go ahead.
That's cool. What kind did you see? Was it UFOs or what?
Well, my first alien experience, UFO experience, was walking my dogs, and I seen 3 star-like ships moving in a triangle formation across the sky for about 6 seconds at a slow pace until headlights shone upon the trees I was in front of, and then I could no longer see it. That was my first alien experience, and that I was looking on the web for about a month trying to find out what I seen. I was going crazy. Came home to the wife, and I was just, what did I see? She and I kept looking, and about a month later, A&E had an episode of Paranormal State, and they went to Gilliland's ranch, James Gilliland, and I just knew at that point, wow, I have to go and ask this guy what he's seen, and I know I need to find answers because this is so unlike my reality. My reality back then was get the nicest shoes, dress the nice way, get the cars, the jewelry, and I was not concerned with the world and why I was here. And I never looked within. I mean, I tried a little bit, but still caught up, and it showed. And I don't know why they came to me, but they did. And then I went to see James, and that started me on my journey. Things that I've seen, I have my own YouTube videos The Kids Got Heart, my name in the chat room here at freedomslips.com. I have a bunch of UFO sightings that I've seen that I went and did my research that night before I posted them, because I didn't want to come off saying everything was a ship when it could be satellite. And I know what satellites look like, and I know what planes look like. To the best of my knowledge, with what information I can find on the internet, those are off-world crafts on my YouTube video. I've seen fleets of 30 ships. I've seen ships change shapes. I've seen ships change color. I've seen ships that have the characteristics of a butterfly, and they float in the sky, and they, just exactly like a butterfly would. And about maybe a month after that, I noticed a Ancient Aliens show where they were talking about butterfly-like ships. These Indians from India experienced them hundreds of years ago, and they wrote about them. So I seen that after I seen these. So I was like, wow, something's
like
really...
That's how you know. Yeah, that's like just clarifying it for you. That's when they're
true.
just like talking to you, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry about that. Yeah, so me and the wife, basically, we get to see them. We do go out and look for them, and people who say that they don't see them, it's because you're looking up for 30 seconds and you're saying, show me yourselves. That's not the way it works.
You get frustrated and give up. Yeah.
That's it.
You have to enjoy the night sky, because it's beautiful regardless, and you just have to enjoy the fact that you're looking at the night sky, and if you happen to see UFO, then you're cool. Don't be mad at the sky.
Don't the sky didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
We got more questions here from the chat room. If any of our listeners are listening, you're like, what am I listening to? You're listening to Revolution Radio. Freedomslips.com is the website. We've got a chat room here filled with a bunch of like-minded people. So come on in there, ask your question. It will get answered, I promise you, if it's on topic. And yes, join us, freedomslips.com. And we got another question from listener 8360. The questions will just keep coming if you answer them. What do you think about the alien moon bases and the NASA cover-up on it? Have you seen the movie The Moon Rising?
I've not seen that movie, but I believe that there are probably moon bases on the other side of the moon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's pretty straightforward. We have area code 253 caller. You want to take calls right now? We can address this one here.
That's fine. Go for it.
Cool. Area code 253. What's up? You're on there. Oh, they hung up. I guess maybe we kept them on too long. 1 minute. Sometimes they get impatient. maybe they were expecting us to address them right away. And that happens. So feel free, anyone, to call back. We'll shoot a couple of numbers out there. In the U.S., it's 347-688-2902. That's 347-688-2902. And always a free call on Skype. If you download Skype, if you have Skype, type in the search box Freedom Screen, and you'll be able to invite us as a friend, and we can accept. You can call in for free. That's how we like to get people to support. We tell them, stop paying your long distance bill. You can call in, speak to us for an hour, and you don't have to pay some crazy bill. Put half in your pocket and donate the rest. Freedomslips.com. So listener supported is just that. We don't push pharmaceutical. Yeah, sorry, we lost connection right there. We're just calling her back. That happens. I think it's been happening all night. Don't blame us. It's the servers. And I love that.
My router just dumped on me.
Hi, this is Sheila. Leave a message.
Oh. She just try that call again there. I just hung up with her. No. I apologize. Harkerson Cooper.
Oh, I'm annoyed with my internet. It's been jumpy all day. All right, You're back. There you go.
Cool.
And we're back on here.
Yeah, sorry. We got your answering machine, so you're going to have double charges there. No.
Okay, that's all right.
No, we hung up on that answer machine. You won't have a 2-hour message you've got to listen to.
Okay.
So Sheila, and any kind of new adventures you want to get on, anything that you seem like, obviously you love doing your YouTube, you are there almost every day, which is great. Anything that intrigues you more than just spotting, let's say, a UFO? What are you trying to find? Like when you do look for UFOs, are you trying to see where you come from? Like what's your background? What do you?
I'm not sure. I'm into all things paranormal or strange. I somehow started getting into the truther movement and just posting things that don't have to do with aliens necessarily. So just like our American rights and that kind of stuff interests me. But every day I do a search for weird clouds and stuff like that, and I find some cool stuff like weather phenomena. That fascinates me for some reason. And as far as where it comes from, I don't know.
And what about crop circles? Have you ever tried to investigate crop circles?
No. If they were happening in America more often, then I would, but they always happen in the UK, it seems, and it's always just people take pictures, not really video. I believe that those could be aliens, a lot of them. They're not all fake, that's for sure. So, but I don't find them that interesting because it's not happening here.
Okay, so if it's not happening in your face, you don't pay heed to it. You know what? It intrigues me. It intrigues myself. They're recorded in 29 countries as far back as the 1700th century. 17th century, I apologize. So I mean, they've been around, and yes, primarily in England. I don't know why. Maybe there's a chakra point there. There's obviously around the world there are different hotspots, UFO hotspots. We were talking about that a few weeks ago with Jeff Willis. He's from Arizona, Phoenix to be precise.
Yeah, actually, I talked to him before. We had an interview together on some show called The Alien Agenda.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, he's a cool cat. We had him on here. And he's very, very well spoken, and he's got his own website and doing his own things. He's got those cameras too, looking up, because you never know when you're going to catch something. And everyone likes to debunk them, right? When you start filming, and that's this, that's that, and it's all fine and dandy until you have your own UFO experience, and then you become one of the crazies, you know. So that's my angle, and I don't discredit anyone who have said they've seen them now, because I know that they do exist. And for what reason they're visiting us? Why do you think they're visiting us? What's behind that, in your opinion? Just Sheilaaliens? Not, yeah.
The aliens, there's probably more than one type of alien, first of all. Probably good ones and bad ones. Good ones would be visiting us because they are us. They want us to wake up and be aware for I'm not sure what reason, but they visit us to, I don't know, just to open our minds and to help us. And then there's probably bad ones too, which would be like the Greys and the lizard people. And those ones I would never want to see, because I'd probably punch them if I saw them.
You'd punch them. That's straight from the horse's mouth there. If you come near me, I'll punch you.
I never want to see one of those. I know there's pretty aliens, like what was that guy? The guy who used to
Palladians?
take pictures of them.
Palladians.
Yes.
They're Nordic looking. Beautiful blonde hair, yes. I believe so. There are malevolent ones, benevolent ones, and there are neutral ones, in my opinion, and that's what some of the findings came to when they were doing the tests back in the 50s and 60s, that there are definitely 3 categories of aliens. Thousands of races, in my opinion. Aren't there 1,000 species here on Earth? Why would we be so close-minded to think that there weren't 1,000 species of aliens? And yes, there are good ones. There are bad ones. We can vouch for there being bad ones because we are the only species on this planet that kill for fun. And if we have to be that side of the spectrum, then there have to be others out there. Whether or not they are visiting us, we do know that the Greys are a certain species, and how we know them is because insiders have come forward during the years, and they've said that we were doing business with them. They would give us technology, and they can abduct creatures and humans, as long as there was an agreement, as long as they gave a list to I forget the name, who they had to give the list to when they abducted these people, but they had to, and they would have to bring them back. And there was a whole agreement back in, well, it was 57 or what have you. I can find that out. But there's a whole system that was planned, and so there are the malevolent ones, the ones that are using us as test tube babies, whatever, creating us, breeding us, whatever, against our will. And they'll pull some sort of MK Ultra style, forget what you just seen in the last 2 weeks, whatever, you're back in your chair. I'm sure there's those that exist too. But I don't believe that those are the ones that are visiting us, per se. They may be the ones that are running our government. I think our government are pretty corrupt here globally. I know that there's a few. Yeah. Go ahead.
They must be evil, I think. They can't be human. So,
reptilian.
Lizard people.
Well, we've seen those videos, and yes, they're just videos, and you can't tell a lot from an eyewitness report. Is very dim at best. We all know that. But there has been evidence that they have been infiltrated in our government. Clifford Stone was one of them who talked about it. And a lot of them have come forward, Eisenhower was a part of that. Illuminati is huge to do with the aliens. And that's what the so-called fourth threat is. I mean, you have to control the population. That's what they've been trying to do, the governments, and they've done it in 4 stages: the Cold War, rogue nations, global terrorism, and the 4th one would be a hoax threat from space.
Yep, that's the last card.
That's the last card. What do you think about that?
Sure, why not? I mean, this whole blue beam thing seems likely. All these orbs that people are seeing, I see them. They live on the mountain here, basically, and I see them all the time. And when I first moved here, I thought, it seems like the government's just testing something. There's a video that came out the other day from Chicago, I forget where it was, but I posted it, and it shows these orbs floating in the air as a triangle, and then like these fake fireworks going off by them. Like that's going to be the excuse for these orbs in a triangle formation floating around.
That's what they do?
It seems like they're practicing or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And covering it up at the same time.
Same time. You said you've seen orb-like light beams on the mountain?
Yes.
Close by you. That's what James Gilliland sees, and he's got video footage of it coming in and out of the mountain because supposedly there's a crystal city within Mount Adams, and it's a part of the native tribe over there. I don't know exactly what tribe, but he said that there is a gateway to the inner earth there. So that's pretty... sorry?
That's why I'm fascinated by his stuff, because I'm positive that he sees the same ones that I see, and other people see them too. and something about the mountains, they definitely like the mountains.
Well, maybe they're harvesting energy from them. I have no idea.
Or there could be a base inside the mountain. It could be anything.
Well, yes, that leads us into, are there underground bases, government ones and extraterrestrial ones? Yeah, I'm sure there are. Why not? Yeah. Anything's possible when you start looking into these conspiracies, if you want to call them. But a lot of people don't want to do their own research, right? They want it all right in front of them, and they want to be able to. Yeah. What do you think about that?
And
you get a lot of hate.
If I do, I ignore it. But if I do, I ignore it. I get a lot more love than hate from people. And I always make it clear that you guys can do your own research. I'm not telling you guys that what I'm presenting to you is the gospel truth. Anything can be possible, and we all don't know shit in the long run. Pardon my French, I'm sorry.
That's not a French word. Everyone always says that, but it's not a French word. It's merde.
Okay.
We've got another question here. I don't know if I may have skipped it. We did ask her about her alien experience, right? And do you believe that you're an alien? That was one of the questions from our chat room.
Do I believe it? I kind of feel like it. It's kind of a story with my mom, because she's had some kind of weird experiences. I think she's either an alien or she's been abducted. Before she had my older sister, she was pregnant in the 80s, and she didn't carry the baby to term, but she was pregnant for over 3 months, and then the baby was just gone, period. So I kind of feel like, the aliens took the baby and, it's a hybrid somewhere. And there's no trace.
That's malevolent. That's the bad one.
Like the Greys. It's not good. But for some reason, that's not good.
Sorry.
But
sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It seems like a sad story. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So the baby mysteriously disappeared, which happened a lot in the 80s if you look into it. And my mom was abducted when she stayed in the White Mountains, which is where the fire in the sky happened. The movie with
why did you have to say that?
His last name is.
Why did you have to say that movie? I just watched that with Joanne the other day. I love that movie. But I
actually have never seen it.
You've never what?
I've never seen it, but I know Travis's story and everything, but I never saw the movie.
Oh, I apologize. Is that based on a true story? I had no idea.
Of course.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It happened here in Arizona. Yeah.
Incroyable, we say in French. That's incredible. I watched that movie maybe 15, 20 years ago, easy, and I was so intrigued I had to torrent it, and I got it, and I love it. It's such a great movie. But they do push that negative. They do.
Yeah, I know. Well, they took the guy and then dropped him off 3 days later or something, and he didn't know what the hell had happened.
Wow.
So that was in Arizona. It was the White Mountains, and that's where my mom, she was camping there before she ever saw that movie. And for 3 nights in a row as she was camping there, she would have a dream that an alien would come on some kind of like a surfboard, like a saucer, a glowing disc. He was standing on it, and they'd go away somewhere together. And I was like, you totally got abducted. So wow. She's always had weird experiences, and she just passed it on to me. So
I don't want to put fear. I don't want to put fear in anyone, especially yourself, because I'm telling you, I'm encouraging you to visit James Gilliland's ranch. But when we were there, we slept in the caravan, and I thought, for some reason, I had the most vividest dream of being outer body, like an outer body experience. I cannot explain it. I never had a dream like it, but it was when I was in his field of dreams, as they call it. It's a huge field where thousands of people go annually to look at these UFOs coming in and out of the mountain and across the sky, and orbs coming in and out of the ground, what have you. When I was there, I felt like the most vivid dream happened. So maybe they do abduct us. Some are good for good reasons, and maybe some are for bad reasons.
I don't know. I wish that they would. I don't know. I dream so vividly that I would think I would have dreams about aliens or UFOs, and I don't. And I think that's kind of suspicious. It's like, really, I dream about everything. So I'm amazed that I don't dream about them. Maybe I would be too scared. I'm not sure.
I haven't dreamt in a few months at least, so I don't even know what the techniques are to dream. But sometimes you want to dream about it, right? Because it makes it a little bit more understanding for you, because you're one-on-one with your REM and what have you, whatever. So I think dreams are really vivid, and they explain a lot in your life that you're experiencing. So I always want an alien dream, but I don't want it to scare me.
Exactly, I'm the same way, so maybe they just stay out of it so I don't freak out. I don't know.
True.
But I like that kind of stuff, and I used to practice lucid dreaming, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't really like it.
Okay. What about orbs? What are your experience with orbs?
Orbs, that's what live on the mountain, and there's another YouTube channel called... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. YouTube channel.
Yeah, this other YouTube channel is called Seeing UFOs PA, and she has a lot of orb footage, and we talk back and forth. And I'm convinced that she's also seeing the same ones. She lives in Pennsylvania, and they live in the forest there. I don't know exactly what they are, if they're military, bred, I don't know.
Well, talk to James. Talk to James about them, because he explained them to me what they are. And from my best experience, I see them. I can take pictures of them right now. They're in my house. They're in your house. They're everywhere. But that they are spirits, and that they fly around everywhere. They're spirits from creatures, plants, whatever, humans. And they travel everywhere. They're different forms, they're different shapes and sizes, and they're different colors.
I think that's two different things, though. Those, if you have an infrared camera, yeah, you can see there's an invisible world, and there's a lot of pretty little things flying around us. There's little, like invisible butterflies. There's little birds, tiny little invisible birds that you can see with an infrared camera. I'm not joking. It's true. But the ones on the mountain, I believe. So I think it's like two different things. The spirit ones, and then these other ones are definitely, you can see them just plainly. And I think it's two different types of things.
You're absolutely right. They are two different things. There are light orbs.
Hello?
There's spirit. Yes, area code 403. You're on the air. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's up? What's on your mind? You got Sheilaaliens. What's up?
I got who? Who?
Sheilaaliens as
Who's Sheilaaliens?
Caller, do you
I just stopped in to throw her a hot potato.
Catch.
Much love, baby.
Thank you, caller.
Much love, grenade.
What do you say?
Much love, grenade from the wizard. It's me,
The wizard. Hi. Hey, how are
Stoney.
you?
It's Mr. Stoney.
Hey. Nice
Hi.
to talk to you. Hey. It's a wizard.
I just had to come in and throw you a grenade.
Oh, a grenade. Thank you.
Wow, it's just so special to hear you on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Hey,
well, that's pretty interesting. Thanks for
prevail.
the support. True. 403. Yeah. Do you have any questions for Sheila? You can ask her now. Sheila? She's live. Yeah, she's live. Ask her.
Well, she missed tonight's steak. I was just wondering when she's going to be here for the next one. I told her I'd have a ribeye ready. I told you I'd have a ribeye ready for you.
Oh, I missed it. Dang it. Oh, yeah. I need to go to Canada.
She was supposed to be here for the barbecue, but No, we're up here in Canada.
That sounds like a Calgary accent.
Calgary accent? We don't have accents. You have accents.
You just gave it away, homie. How's it going? I'm from Ontario here. I'm from the 416.
That's cool, man.
So are you into aliens? Are you into the alien experience?
Well, I just got back from looking in the sky. I'm usually looking for Sheila. She's usually flying around up there somewhere. But
Yeah.
I didn't see her again tonight. When I'm looking for Ellen, and I'm kind of looking for that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you're not going to see her. You're not going to see Ellen just yet.
I know.
Is this your first time visiting freedomslips.com, sir?
I think so.
Well, we are going to be talking. We are going to be talking Ellie tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. Your time. So tune in tomorrow, and we're going to cover that for 2 hours with Terrell. And any comments can be addressed tomorrow. But yes.
Well, I don't want to take up Sheila's time. I just phoned in to throw her a hot potato.
And a grenade.
I appreciate
that's a much loved grenade. See you,
Thank you. That's so sweet. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey.
Cool. So I guess you get a lot of supporters. That's pretty cool.
I met him over on Dutch Sense's channel on YouTube. So I talk to those people all the time. They're awesome.
Throwing you grenades and what have you. That's a cool lingo.
Yep.
Dutch Sense, yes, he was on here a few weeks back, and we had him here. Are you friends with him? Have you been on a one-to-one basis with him, or you just watch his videos?
Yeah, I mean, we converse back and forth on the internet. We haven't talked on the phone, but I'm pretty sure we're friends. I consider him my buddy.
Is he down? Go ahead.
What, with the aliens? Are you going to ask if he's down with the aliens?
Well, no, I was going to say, is he down with cats? But since you mentioned aliens, why not? It's a phenomenal ET show.
Sure. He's down with both. He's got like 4 cats with his wife, and as far as ETs go, him and his wife did have a sighting of an orb. I think it was during the day, a white orb, which I've also seen before too. So
you're thinking these orbs are military or what?
No, I don't know. That's a tough question. They seem kind of, I don't know, it's like they act robotic. Like there's a bunch of them doing the same thing over and over again. It's hard to say. I'm up in the air about it. All I know is they're there, they're strange, and they kind of seem to interact with helicopters and other things.
Wow, those are weird. 2 different things.
I think so. I know there's spirit orbs. You can take pictures and with the flash, and then they show up. But these ones, they're like plasma, just bright.
And the other orbs that you can see with your camera, you can also see if you pay attention in the dark sky, and they can come right up to your face. You don't need a camera for them, although the camera, the digital camera, has introduced us to them. If you really pay attention, they're just floating all around. They're incredible. They're not dust particles. Yeah.
You can see them during the day if you do the sun obliteration technique, where you the bright sun is shining, and then you have something kind of blocking the sun, just a little bit, like the roof or something, and then you can see them in the sun rays flying everywhere. Whether they're UFOs or what, I don't know, but you can see them that way during the day. It's called the sun obliteration.
Cool. Well, I'd like to take I'm just going to take a pause here, let our listeners know that they are listening to Revolution Radio. freedomslips.com is the website. So jump on and Google us, freedomslips.com. We've got a wonderful chat room here. It's filling up pretty quickly. A bunch of listeners out there listening to Sheilaaliens. You can YouTube her channel. I guess it would be YouTube/Ely. Woo! What a brain fart. Sheilaaliens. That rarely happens when you do a lot of talking.
Okay.
But yes, so you were listening to the Phenomenal ET show here at Revolution Radio. Join us in our chat room. We've got a bunch of like-minded people here sharing some information. Great group of folks here. To the left of that chat room, we've got a bunch of cool links. Check it out. We got a store of Revolution Radio gear. We've got archives of our past shows, and Sheila had mentioned if we had known about James Gilliland, and for sure, yes, we've got him in the archives. He was here. He was one of my first guests. We also got a schedule, a revamped schedule. We're hosting pretty much every night here starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we go till about 2 a.m. So we're on a good 8 hours a day, and the weekends we push it, Fridays and Saturdays, and we are listener supported, and that strictly means listener supported. We do not hold commercials. We do not work with pharmaceutical companies. We do not like to push other people's products. That's not how we are here. We are in the search for freedom, freedoms of speech, and we do not want to go that route of working with commercialing and all that stuff and push things on you don't need. But we are listener supported, and we do have a lot of bandwidth. It does cost us a lot of money. So if you can, please click that donate button to the left of our chat room and help out any little bit you can. It would be greatly appreciated. We know that some of you, are not deep-pocketed, as Tara would put it, but do want to help, do want to contribute, and don't feel like $5 is too little or $100 is too much. Just click that donate button and help out. Keep us on the air for another month, and we can continue bringing you organized shows, great guests like Sheilaaliens and James Gilliland and Max Egan and Michael Cremo, and we can continue having great guests on for your benefit, and that's what we all need your help for. So now you are tuning in to Phenomenal ETs with your guests, Sheilaaliens and myself, the Dolger, a.k.a. Sunny Side Up, and we are talking about phenomenal extraterrestrials, because that's what my show's about, and we're hitting on many subjects that Sheila likes to talk about. After all, it is her show. We are interviewing her. She's coming from the Arizona area, and she's got a few UFO stories of her own. So we're just chatting with her. So join us in that chat room. freedomslips.com is the website, and enjoy. So any more questions, you can direct them in the chat room, and I'm sure we'll find our way to answering them. What's up with the dubstep? That's one of the questions.
What's not up with it? I love dubstep.
Sierra, I like that song. Sheilaaliens.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm just going in my book of vocabulary music here. I think it's something like that. I love that music, and that's from our chat room here. People are asking questions, and they want to know, well, so what's not up with it? Why do you like it? You like that kind of trance music?
I've always liked weird experimental music, so before I knew dubstep existed, probably before it existed, I listened to experimental music like Peeping Tom with Mike Patton from Faith No More, and dubstep, I just love the way it sounds. Like, some of it really sucks. Like, I listen to a lot of dubstep just to find the good stuff. Like, I'd say 90% of it is retarded, but there's 10% of it that is just awesome, and so it's my favorite type of music. It's different. I don't know, people always say, it sounds like something an alien would listen to, and I'm like, well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm into a lot of music. I do definitely listen to everything, and that gets you in the mood. Yeah, you've got a huge YouTube base. I was looking in there, like over 8 million views. Like, how long have you been on YouTube for?
Since August, since 2009 sometime.
2 years. How do you do it? How do you get that many views? I'm sure there are a lot of listeners out there with YouTube videos that could only dream about your views. How do you do it? Is it the alien part? What?
From the ground up, I started with my UFO videos, and then the main videos that have the most views were this tornado video. Like, I didn't even make this video. It's just it's an update from the Tuscaloosa tornado while it was happening. The Weather Channel guy It was happening live, and he's freaking out about it, but he's telling everybody, you know, run for safety, this and that. And that one has the most views at, like, over 300,000. And randomly, like, this other one I put out 2 weeks ago about some chupacabra, like, roadkill thing. For some reason, that one has a lot of views, 200,000. So it's kind of random. The Tuscaloosa one makes sense because it's a tornado happening live, and the guy's commentary is kind of classic and epic.
So my trick...
These videos, they're not even mine. So.
Okay. You're just hosting them and getting the views. Good point.
Yeah.
I should put a whole bunch of videos saying fake birth certificate Obama, and I'll probably get a whole bunch of views. We've got views of us jeeping and stuff like that. So I don't know how many people are interested in off-roading, but anyway, we got another question from our chat room here at freedomslips.com. Sheila, what do you think about your video of the UFO bigger than the moon? Was it Project Bluebeam, in your opinion? What do you think?
What's the UFO bigger on
than
the moon?
Yeah, you have a video according.
Oh yeah, the one I just posted. Like I said in the video, I think that was just a rocket test, but that could be a cover story, I'm sure, because the same thing happened in Hawaii on June 22nd, and it looked the same. It's just like it's not a UFO, it's a big white circular spot in the sky that gets bigger, fades, and disappears. And when it happened in Hawaii, it coincided with a rocket launch from California to the Marshall Islands. And I just think it was probably a rocket test or something that they were doing to intimidate China. Obviously, they didn't bother telling them about it, so I think it's a military test of some sort, maybe Bluebeam. Anything's possible. So I'm not too sure about that.
Great. Maddie Clues from our chat room here has a question. How do you find all the news that you post? What is the method to your madness?
I was thinking about posting a video about how I find things, because there's a lot of ways that I do it. I use Google a lot, and I search, like, for UFO, like, if there's a newscast about UFOs at a local TV station, I search every day for UFO TV local news, and then I filter for the most recent results. And if something happened in some little town where people saw UFOs, then it'll come up. I know how to manipulate the search engines, like, really well.
Great.
I guess I'll do a video to elaborate on that. I've been working on that, so.
Okay. There is a question from this chat room, but I have to paste it somewhere else so that it stops moving, because it is a long question. Listener 8368 from our chat room is asking, but seeing as the chat room keeps moving, I cannot get the question out. So, sorry, that's just the way we got to do it here. You've done other shows, like you've mentioned. You've done the show with Jeff Willis. You've done what was it? ABC News. Was it ABC News?
I don't know. It was a local TV channel here, KVOA. I'm not sure what they're associated with.
Yeah, sounds like ABC anyway. But, you know, are people approaching you to sort of get your info out about it? Like more YouTube videos? Are there people, mainstream media, reaching out to you and, you know, what does she know?
Not that I've noticed. No, not that I've noticed. I mean, because my stuff's kind of esoteric, you know, so really mainstream media is probably not that interested in it, which is okay with me. But no, you're the first officer interview I've had in a while. I had an offer back when the Tucson shooting happened, and they wanted to relate that to be like an alien sacrifice or something, and I was like, no, thank you.
Great.
So that's, yeah.
Cool. Well, we do have another caller, and if anyone would like to call in, the call-in number is 347-688-2902. That's 347-688-2902, and a free call on Skype, Freedom Screen. Type that in the search box, and we can get your call in. Area code 608. You're on the air with Sheilaaliens. How's it going?
Hey, this is Ravana9000 from Twitter. I'm RavanaTown9 on YouTube, and I've been retweeting some of Sheilaaliens' videos lately. I wanted to ask her about the one she posted yesterday on the Washington, D.C. and Colorado earthquakes, the one from the Russian news source. I think it was Sorcha Fall she quoted.
Sorcha, yeah, I don't know who that person is. I just found out about that after I posted it. I found out that Sorcha Fall, according to everybody, is not a good source for information, or is a cult of different people, not even one person. I'm not sure much. I don't know much about that entity. Can you tell me anything?
I've seen information from Sorcha Fall listed other places before, and I mean, you just have to understand, like, you know, you said that she was citing, or he was citing GRU, and I mean, that's like citing the CIA and trying to get the truth. So, I mean, I've seen stuff that is pretty accurate, but depending on what the original source is, who knows?
Right. I will say that the link, you know, there's no link to the report that they are talking about. So, and I do make note of that I made an annotation on the video that basically I can't confirm this because the report that they are citing is inaccessible or it doesn't exist or something. I even tried searching in Russian on Google for the same thing and I can't find it. So, I've looked.
Yeah. That makes it somewhat suspicious, but like I said, I've seen other things that have been fairly accurate listed as from that.
From that person, though, it's just very interesting the way they tied everything together. Like, it would be an odd, like, event of coincidences for them to take that and spin it into a story. I don't know. Like, it seems somewhat believable or up for consideration considering everything that took place.
Well, I can speak from personal experience. Let me rephrase that. I can speak directly from a person who has been on the Underground Rail system. They went from New York to L.A. in, I think it was 22 hours, but they said actual traveling time was more like 10 hours. And
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I have personal experience of someone who has been on, you know, and knows about that, and that was years ago when they had told me about it. So I wouldn't put it past them that rail system exists, but you know, trying to get a nuclear weapon into someplace that's that secure, that's a bit of a stretch. The other part is, you know, if the CIA, you know, there is the documentation the CIA is moving their headquarters, and they're moving to Colorado. So that part of it is legitimate from what I understand.
Right. Exactly. So it's kind of weird that they were moving from Virginia to Colorado, and then the earthquake happened in Colorado, and then happened in Virginia. That's kind of weird, and that's why it's weird for them to be able to tie everything in together like that. And I believe there's underground tunnels and stuff. There's pictures of the boring machines and all kinds of stuff. I put the link to them in the video description just today. So I don't know about that one.
Great.
Yeah, great video, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep.
Cool. Any other questions for Sheilaaliens?
Not right at the moment. I'll just listen because I can't get it any other way right now. The Freedom Slips is down.
Yeah, and everyone's having the issue.
Another one, and
everyone's
I can't listen
having
to either of them that I was sent. So,
if you can download Winamp, if you can download that and then come back in the chat room, or even just stay in the chat room, download it, and then click on the Winamp link to the left. That is your best method to hear us. We do want to keep the lines open. Sorry?
Yeah, I can't even get into the chat.
Oh, yes. Keep refreshing. That's been my issue for the past 2-3 weeks. There is a new system being implemented, so that's to come. But all you have to do is keep refreshing, and it will pop up. I know exactly what you're saying. Give that a couple of tries, and then figure that out there. And we're here, a bunch of people here, like 62 people.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've tried the last couple of days getting out of the chat, and it crashes my computer when I even try.
Have you tried the Java?
I've tried both of them, Kevin.
This is Mike Nighthawk.
Oh, Mike. Hey, how's it going?
If you want, there's always like MIRC or something like that, a regular chat client that you can get in, and we can pass you info on that.
The only thing I can do is through Twitter right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've tried the last couple of days getting onto either of the chats, and it crashes me. So.
Have you gotten into it before?
I've never been able to get onto the chat, no.
What browser are you using?
I'm just on a cheap HP Mini, and I think it's Windows 7.
No, I mean what browser? Windows Explorer or Internet Explorer?
Firefox.
Firefox?
Mozilla.
Okay. Yeah. You could Internet Explorer. I mean, everybody seems to be having no problem on Internet Explorer. Firefox has some issues with that new Flash app that just Flash update that came out, and it makes it impossible to connect to the Flash with Firefox for whatever reason. I don't know.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. If you guys need me to hop off the line, I can do that. That's not a problem. Are you guys going to have this up on the archives hopefully tomorrow?
Yeah. I do archives around noon each day.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, if you need the line, then I can hop off.
Great. Or just stay back there and put her on mute. And if the lines do fill up, then we'll let you know.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd rather just listen and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that. Just hit the mute button. Hit the mute button so there's no feedback.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, sir. And he was just asking about our chat room here at freedomslips.com, and there is a little bit of issues getting in, but it's not too hard on some people. Others, it's nearly impossible, but for some reason that has nothing to do with us. So join us at freedomslips.com and join us in our chat room. We've got a bunch of new cool people. Every day we're getting a bunch of new friends, and we're building this family, this foundation here. And tonight I got Sheilaaliens. You can YouTube some of her videos. She's got a great list of followers, and I asked her to come on, and she said, why not? That's what I'm in it for. So we got a couple questions piling up here. This one is from listener 8368 from our chat room. The question is kind of long. Maybe bear with the gentleman here. Carl Jung, in his book Flying Saucers, A Modern Myth of Things Seen in the Skies, comments on the UFO phenomena as a modern manifestation of the collective unconsciousness to explain things humans are grappling with. He can't explain what that means, but I think I do. Just as previously people manifested angels, demons, and gods, the heavenly beings being a universal archetype. 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 You say potato, I say potato. Do you think that the concept continues to apply today?
Do I think that the UFOs and stuff are just something we've created with our minds?
Yep.
Is that what he's asking?
That's probably it.
No, I don't believe that theory to be true. I think they're actually beings from other planets, as well as military operations, and also maybe parallel dimensions or time travelers even. But I don't think it's something we're creating, although that's not impossible. It's just not what I subscribe to. So
that's true. Me neither. What a far-fetched question. I think religion is all in a book, and it's what people choose to preach to other people. UFOs, to my knowledge, there's more evidence of extraterrestrial beings and crafts than there is in religion, but that's just my opinion. Don't quote me on it. Don't fault me for it. That's just the way I feel. But no, that's a great question from our chatters here at freedomslips.com. But no, we don't subscribe to it, like you said. And there is another question. What is your opinion of MUFON? What do you think about what they're doing?
MUFON, I think they're slightly weak. I appreciate what they do and everything. If you go to UFOstalker.com, they put it all up on a map. You can click on the little UFO and it'll tell you the person's story. And if they attach the video, then it'll be there for you to download. But a lot of times they remove the video information and it'll just say edited by blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of fishy and it's kind of annoying because I want to know what the video was, basically. And I don't think they follow up on a lot of stuff. And their server has been down for the past, 4 weeks, and it just came up maybe half a week ago. It went back online, but there was no explanation. Everybody was in the forums like, what's going on? So I think they kind of slack a little bit, in my opinion.
Okay.
They don't do much. I mean, they should be investigating the Jerusalem sighting. They should be investigating these ones that are in the news recently, all of them. I mean, they should be on the spot.
Yeah, of course, but that would be giving all away the good information. And they need to sell their stories, right? They need to sell what's good, and they don't want, there is things that they can't tell us. And so there's definitely a big gag order on a lot of media coverage out there, no doubt. I know a lot of little communities, like you had your public or your local radio show come out, or television news broadcast come out there and interview yourself. But, mainstream will just hit it, give it, a minute, 40 seconds, whatever, and then move on like nothing happened. I think they don't want us to think it's real until it hits us, Yeah,
they just use it as something fun or something like comedic relief once in a while, really. But the local TV stations, they do mention it, but they try not to leave it as a question. They always try to answer it like, oh, it was probably just this,
Yeah.
So
they always need to debunk it.
Yeah, they always have some random old person on who was in the military telling us that it was flares, and that's kind of weak, but I guess that's so the people can sleep at night after they watch.
True. Yeah. I don't know what this question has to do with anything. Zesba9000 asks, have you heard about, she obviously has probably heard about TMZ. I guess it's a celebrity television show, whatever. That has nothing to do with aliens, but maybe maybe that's why they're asking you.
I've heard of them, and they're just that. They harass celebrities and stuff. What about it?
I know. I got to pop these questions. That's what we do here at freedomslips.com. Great.
No problem.
So your experience with them with aliens could be, like you had said, in some experience, you believe that your mother was abducted and what have you, and that tends to lean on the negative side of things. Do you believe that the positive ones are trying to communicate, not necessarily directly, but through, let's say, video? They're trying to get you to get the message out. Do you believe that there's positive ones involved?
Yes, I do. And I think that they want to be videotaped, and they definitely will show themselves to anybody who is patient with it. And I think there's definitely positive ones out there. The negative ones are doing things in hiding and this and that, but I don't know if those ones would show themselves on purpose. So, and then there's also the option that I might just be a psyop, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Like a psyop, yeah. Of course, if I was, I wouldn't know it, because that would be the perfect psyop, wouldn't it?
Yep, that's true. That's what a couple of people do have the opinion of, and you're obviously rightfully entitled to it, but it's the way you want to look at things, and you want to perceive as the world as being all bad, then that's what you're going to get. If you want to see some of these things as being helpful and they're trying to lead us in the right way and they're here to help, then, you're entitled to that too. So basically...
if they don't hurt you, then, if they haven't tried to kill you or, you have no reason to think they're bad, then you shouldn't just automatically think that they're bad, I think. People try to tell me that what I see are demons, and I don't believe that. I believe in demons and all that stuff, but I don't believe that these are demons. They're not leading me astray down any terrible road. I have a good life, and nothing bad has come of it. So you always have to be cautious, but you shouldn't just assume everything is bad, because it's actually a good thing.
True.
A lot of it.
Yeah, very true. We do have a question that we passed, but I'm not sure if you'd have the exact answer, but we can elaborate on it together. How many federal dollars do you think go into this UFO disinfo? It's a great question, and we want to get to the bottom of it. Sheila, do you know anything about that?
Federal dollars. I'm not sure. There's probably a huge PSYOP budget for the government, and it's probably all grouped together. They just have people trolling on every single subject, including UFOs. I'm not sure what the amount would be, but I'd say they do focus a lot on it, but it seems like they focus on every topic when you get into it. If you look around, they have people that seem to be dedicated to misinforming people about every single topic that you can think of. So those are the ones that I think are paid. Yeah. So I don't know what they're making, but enough to keep on doing it.
True. The TMZ question, I misread that. It's the TZM, the Zeitgeist movement. It could have been as simplified as the Zeitgeist. But yes, what do you think about the Zeitgeist movement?
Okay, well, that's actually the movie that woke me up. I'm not going to say that it's 100% accurate, this and that, but it opened my mind, and that was the key to get me to think, okay, so the government is kind of corrupt. Like, before I saw that movie, I didn't understand what the government's just going to make 9/11, do 9/11 just to be evil for the sake of being evil. But that movie explains why money, or why wars are profitable, and to whom it's profitable, and stuff like that. And it just kind of opened my mind to the twistedness of it all and the motives that could be behind it. So I like that, guys. It's not 100% accurate, as many say, but it's not a bad movie. I think it definitely opened my eyes. Well,
just like, obviously they have their own agenda, right? There's a movie that they made, and they have their own agenda at the end. They tell you what it is, and they have their opinion. And, most of it is great info. But then you get into their side of things, and that's when it gets, debatable, and that's great. That brings new conversation. That brings new ideas. You can't say for one, it's not a great movement. It's not, they've done something that not a lot of people have done. I think they're at 3 movies right now. Incredible feats that they're trying to accomplish. So, my hat's off to them for sure.
I say it's definitely done some good if it opened my eyes. So, I cried for a long time the day I watched that movie, just to realize that our own government could have done that. And it just opened my eyes. I didn't even want to think about it before then. So,
True.
It's a good thing.
True. I'm trying to ask Zach here in our chat room, what was the question we had posted, because I had to refresh here. My computer froze up here, so I needed that question. One of our chatters here in our chat room asked, and if you'd like to call in the States, 347-688-2902. That's 347-688-2902, and chat with Sheilaaliens. Any questions, any statements would be greatly welcome. And in the UK, if you're not up already, if you're not sleeping still, 020-3286-3697. That's 020-3286-3697. In Australia, 03-9010-5725. You heard me, Sheila. Australia might be calling. 03-9010-5725. And in New Zealand, it's 03-669-2431. They're in winter, if you didn't know, Sheila. 03-669-2431. Yeah, they're having a bad storm out in New Zealand. So, I'm not sure how well they can see the UFOs. But our hearts go out to them, because I think it's been hit pretty bad this year. So I don't know what this whole UFO alien thing means to me at the end of the day if I'm watching my planet crumble and not do anything about it and not speak about it to others.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can continue looking up in the sky and hoping that they come down and do nothing about it here. And it's a good question. It's a good way of looking at it. And you yourself, you do a great job at covering a lot of ground info, geological info, geoengineering, chemtrails. You get into that. What do you think the chemtrails are for? What do you think that they're doing it for?
A couple different reasons. Sorry, there's like something in the sky and these dogs are barking at it right now.
It's okay. I thought you had cats.
I do. This is the neighbor's dog freaking out.
Those are probably my dogs. I've got 5 dogs.
Well, they're loud.
Yeah.
For the chemtrails, a couple of different reasons. A lot of people think that they're just poisoning us and stuff like that. That I'm not sure, but it's quite possible. But I know for a fact that they use it to block out the sun. You'll notice that the chemtrails are always like right in front of the sun, like ridiculously blocking it. People think that they're covering Nibiru, but I don't think that's it. I think they are trying to reduce global warming, quote unquote, and reflect the sun back up. And there's actually presentations from the American Meteorological Society stating that they use aerosols to reflect sunlight to reduce global warming, and I have those on my site. So that's not a secret, I don't think. And then other reasons, all kinds of reasons. Maybe to poison us, I'm not sure. And possibly to enhance weather manipulation. Well, obviously to enhance weather manipulation with cloud seeding. That's also admitted by the American Meteorological Society. So cloud seeding and geoengineering, I'd say.
Yeah, What in the World Are They Spraying is a great documentary. If you haven't seen it before, I suggest you Google it because that is a great movie that speaks about it. And you can only do so much looking up in the sky, wondering what's going to happen to us coming from, let's say, Comet Elenin or a brown dwarf, as some say it is, or even the threat of aliens and what have you. If you're looking up, you're not paying attention to what's going down here. And chemtrailing is a huge topic, and it has been proven. It's not getting mainstream coverage so much, but it is getting coverage out there, local media stations.
Yeah, there should never be a question of chemtrailing real. I mean, of course it's real, because I'd say aerosols, that's a chemical. It's silver iodide, and they're spraying it to seed clouds. That's admitted everywhere. So right there, chemtrails exist, period. So I hate when I see a forum title with, "Are chemtrails real?" That's not even the question anymore. It's just, what are they doing with these chemtrails?
True. Is
the question.
I get so provoked when I see movies like that. They're tearjerkers. Gasland is one of them. Gasland is a huge, great success movie talking about fracking. And what I'll do is I'll go to my local Walmart. Yes, I'll support them for the sole fact that I want to buy 100 CDs. And I go home and I just kill my burner and I just burn those CDs. And Joanne, the wife, she prints out a little pamphlet talking about geoengineering and the evidence behind it and all that. And she, folds it up, puts it in the other sleeve, and I hand them out to everybody. Gas stations, grocery stores. Yeah, well, how else are we going to get the word out? People don't. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, true. YouTube is great. It thousands and thousands of hits a day I see you get. It's great for getting the info out. Hopefully they don't cut YouTube or drop it for a lot of people because they're preaching alternative media. But if one day that does happen, we're going to start to have to get back on the streets and start, getting to the people.
Yep.
For sure. When you talk about aliens to your family, How do they take it? How do they?
My dad. Well, my mom will talk about it. My dad just thinks it's nonsense because he's retired military, and he's just old-fashioned. He thinks me and my mom are crazy. My sister doesn't think much of it, but my mom, like me and her, are just so much alike. But she didn't raise me, so we didn't find this out about each other until I was like 18, that we had this in common. So we talk about it all the time. I mean, she just told me that for the first time about mysteriously not being pregnant anymore. She just told me that like a couple weeks ago, so she probably doesn't want me to tell everybody, but I think it's interesting.
Well, you probably told about 15,000 people, but no, that's okay. Not that many, maybe only 10,000. It's a sad story, but I do want to ask, did she lose it when she was, let's say, abducted, when you assume she was abducted? Was it painful?
No.
What was the issue? I don't want to get too involved with it if you don't want to, but it's kind of curious.
Yeah, she doesn't remember being abducted or anything like that. It was just gone, and she said there was no pain. She didn't have a miscarriage, nothing. I mean, they had to do the standard whatever they do to make sure everything was cleaned out or whatever, basically. So they did that, but she said she did not miscarry. The baby was just gone, and I think that's really weird. Now, her abduction, if that's what it was, happened like 5 or 6 years ago, so that was after.
Incredible. Do you know if, well, it's still 3 hours behind, maybe the sun's setting still for you? Is it dark outside? Cloudy outside, cloud coverage, or? I'm wondering.
It's definitely nighttime, and there's no clouds really.
So I want you to go out there. Go out there tonight and look for them, because you've said that you haven't seen them necessarily in the masses. Just go outside and stare up and look. Bring out your video camera, your little camera there. Sorry?
For UFOs?
Yes. Go out and...
What I meant by that was I haven't seen aliens, but yeah, you're right. I mean, go outside and look up. I've seen all kinds of UFOs.
Oh, you've seen aliens, Sheilaaliens. Come on, you've seen them.
I know. I have. I mean, I recorded them, so they're all on YouTube.
YouTube is beautiful. We love it. We love getting that information out. And when the ships come, this is a great question. What feeling do you get when you see these ships? Do you get a gut feeling? What kind of feeling?
I just get really, I don't know, I'm always quiet in my videos. That's what people say, like, nobody would be that quiet if they were seeing that, but I'm just like, it feels like an honor. It feels like something I need to try to stay still, shut up, and record. And so I try to do that. I just kind of feel dumbfounded and lucky, I guess. And I try to thank them, like, mentally or whatever, and I don't know. It feels good for some reason. So I know it's not a bad thing. It feels good.
True. Mm-hmm. I'll definitely give you my opinion. I just want to let our listeners know that they're listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener supported. You are listening to Phenomenal ETs with the Dolger here with guest Sheilaaliens. And join us in the chat room. We've got a bunch of other people here. freedomslips.com is the website. And click on Java or Flash Chat, and you can join our chat room. And we are listener supported, so we need your help. Click that donate button if you can. Help us with anything that you can provide. Would be greatly appreciated. Lose your Sunday paper here. Revolution Radio, we cover everything from legal issues to celestial objects to homeopathic remedies. We go everywhere across the board. We've got great guests, great hosts lined up, and we are all volunteering our time here. And we need to keep the station going via bandwidth, and it does add up. We do get out to a lot of people. Yesterday we had 34,000 listeners, So it does cost some money for bandwidth, and that's monthly. It adds up. It's close to $2,000. And what the owner of the radio station does is he takes out half of it out of his pocket, which he is more than gladly doing because he wants to get the word out, the truth out to you. But we need your support. We need your help. So please, if you can, click that donate button and help support us. Stay online for another day and another week for you. We've got some great questions coming in our chat room. Freedomslips.com is the site. And I am joined here with Sheilaaliens. And we were just talking about her experience with craft and how she felt when they come. And to be honest, I have not ever gotten a negative feeling from any of them. I have had a neutral feeling where they just look like objects. Could be satellites, whatever. But some of them really like give you goosebumps, and they come over you and they get bright, like 5 times brighter than they are, and they shine really bright, and then they dim out or they shoot off, or they
exactly.
I get this
bright.
Exactly. I get this overwhelming feeling, and so does the wife, and then we start yelling. We're going crazy. We're like, oh my God, what is it, and why do you keep coming to us? What can we do? But I think they sent me the message, and they say you have to get on Revolution Radio and host a phenomenal ET show. So that's what they told me, I guess.
That's awesome. I had one sighting where I cussed a lot in the video, but it was basically the Phoenix Lights flying over me, and it was on the news here and everything. A lot of people saw them, but I was at a gas station at 10:40 at night, and here come these Phoenix Lights just floating right over my head. And I had my camera, of course. I almost didn't bring it, though. I was just going to the gas station. And, yeah, I'm cussing like a sailor in that video. It's called Phoenix Lights Over My Head, something like that, from last year.
Or a roofer. You can cuss like a roofer. I know exactly. I scream like a girl, so I've got no excuse. I have never screamed like that. I screamed like I said to James. It was like I screamed like I was a kid again. It was such a great experience. I'm not sure if we pulled Bo in. He is another host. He hosted last night, the Legal Wars. I'm not sure if we pulled him in. Bo, are you here? Going once? Twice? Yeah, maybe Bo's not here. I think the station pulled him in by accident, maybe. Sorry about that, Sheila.
Okay.
So we do have you for a little longer if you'd like. I know we started the show late, but it's up to you how long you want to stay with us. Technically, we end this show in about 10 minutes, but, like I said, we started late, so I'm sure our listeners, our chatters want to hear from you, and they probably want to call in and ask you questions. So if you do, yeah, great. If you do like to stay with us, we'll get some callers. Now, callers, back me up on this one. Call in. Talk to Sheilaaliens. Ask her any question you want. If you are familiar with her YouTube and have any questions for her, you don't have to wait, a half a day for her to respond in the YouTubes. She's here right now. She's live, so call us, 347.
And even if you're not familiar, I'm sorry.
No, you cut me off. That's not cool.
You don't know.
I'm playing. This radio show is so laid back. Don't worry about it. We cut each other off all the time. But even if you're not familiar, like she said, call in and get familiar. Sheilaaliens is from YouTube, as a YouTube sensation, like Mr. Wong there. What was that, American Idol there? She's a YouTube sensation, so check her out. Area code 347-688-2902. That's 347-688-2902 in the States. And if you have Skype, you can type Freedom Screen in the type engine in Skype, and you can call us free, because that's how we like to promote the call-in, so you're not paying crazy long distance to speak with Sheila. And basically, I think I can't take all the credit for getting you on our show. I do have to say, I think what happens here is, we always ask our listeners to come and join us, and if you have any guests or if you have any comments you want to make, let us know. So I think it came in, and I can't be precise on who told me I should check you out. and invite you on. So I can't take the credit for it, but I did do my work to get you here, so I'm taking that credit. But it wasn't myself who had found you, so somebody will come forward and be like, "Hey, Tim, that was me. I'm the one who told you to get her."
So whoever told you that, it's awesome.
Great,
very cool.
Awesome. What about this Elenin, this comet Elenin? What do you believe is coming here in a few weeks? If you talk about it.
Of course I can talk about it. That one, I'm kind of worried about it. I'm not sure exactly. It is the fact that NASA has checked out Elenin more than any other comet besides Hale-Bopp or one of the other ones, Halley's Comet. That was the Elenin is the third one that they checked out the most, like over 2,000 times, probably 3,000 now with their telescopes, with their satellites. I mean, so I'm suspicious as to why they're checking it out so much, and what's going on with it. I don't know. Seems like it's more than they're letting us know.
Yeah, true. It's very suspicious. Here we have a few viewpoints on what it is. We have a collision course Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Francis is an astronomer, and he's learning every day. Of course, we never stop learning, and according to him, that it is just a comet. But he's learning new information every day, and he's open to options of what this can be. And we also have Terrell, and I'm sure you've heard of him from YouTube, and he's going to be on with us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with his updates. And we had him here yesterday with the Perfect Minds, which was the collision course show, and they went back and forth, very conservative and very polite, and they gave their findings and what they believe can be coming. So I don't know. I do know that I am preparing myself for the worst. You know, I'm not preaching the worst because I don't know what's coming, but I am preparing. It could be anything. You're right.
When you research it, though, you should try to look for amateur astronomy pictures, images, videos, because those are the guys that are going to tell us the truth. If the thing gets close enough and it's not what it's supposed to be, they're going to be the ones to tell us first.
You mean not NASA? No, of
NASA
course.
doesn't do that.
That's a great point. You said astronomers, amateurs that are a lot more, willing to get the information out than NASA is. But you're absolutely.
They're still making it, so definitely a better route to read their forums and what they're checking out. So. True,
very true, and we do have another question from the chat room here. This is from Quickwit, and I know we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but maybe we could touch upon it near the end of the show, and what your thoughts are about all the different sounds people are hearing. What do you think it is? I know that you commented that maybe it's drilling, but what do you think?
Some of it, just the fact that there's so many different noises going on. The one in Ontario sounds completely different from the one in the Ukraine. Now, that one in the Ukraine is so creepy sounding. If you've seen The War of the Worlds, it's the noise that the tripod alien machines make. It's exactly the same noise. It's scary. That's all I know. It could be the earth groaning and moaning, but I really wish I knew, and I don't. All I know is it's creepy, and it strikes something in you when you hear that noise. It just does not sound right. And I don't know, it triggers something in your head. It's really strange noise. And whatever it is huge, whatever it is. You can tell that right away that it sounds. So.
Great. Me too. I just came across them today through your video. And I know people were talking about it in the chat room, but I wasn't really, hitting those links, because that's what happens here. At freedomslips.com, people join us in the chat room and they say, "Hey, check this out. Tell me what you think about it." And other people will check the links and give their opinions. And so that's what happens. So I didn't look at those links about the noise sounding, because I was either hosting a show or participating as a caller. And I didn't have time to listen until I peeped your video today. And then I've seen a few others, and yeah, they're not the same noises. They are similar, some of them, but the one, I guess it was Ukraine, which was, it went on for like 10 minutes, and it was horrific, like horrifying sound. It is.
I've tried to find like a news report. I've searched in, different languages to see if like a local news channel is even reporting on it there. I can't find anything, just, videos from the same people. So if it's a hoax, it's a damn good one, and it has all of us on edge trying to figure it out.
Yep.
But I tend to think it's not a hoax, so I don't know what it is, though.
Yeah, it's not an elephant noise. I think Rectify was making a joke about that. Another question here. I'm not sure if you have the answer, but maybe an opinion if you do know about it. The face on Mars and it being a past monument of some kind.
That one, it definitely looks like a monument or something like that. I'd say it probably is. And then they found, that guy that found the Biosphere 2 or whatever on Mars using like something like Google Earth or something, I'm not sure, but he found it through the computer. He found what looks like a base on Mars. So yeah, I think Mars, there's more to it. They just came out the other day and said that Mars has soil much like Earth. For all we know, it could be completely inhabitable, and they're not letting us know. They might already have bases there. So that monument could very well be something from a past civilization that lived there. I mean, the whole place looks like an excavation site or something of some kind of ancient city, in my opinion.
Yeah. And any other kind of information that we might be receiving would be from the government, would be disinformation most of the time. Believe half of what you hear. The saying. So it's sort of like you have to assume that there are inhabitable planets out there by different civilizations, be it millions of years ago, still going on now. The Moon Rising is a great documentary showing all the cover-up that NASA did about the moon and how there is civilizations on the moon. It's pretty intriguing when you get involved with all that and you figure out, well, what are they really trying to show us, and why are they trying to cover it up so bad? How come just a handful of us get to see them,
That's a good question. I'd like to know, too. I mean, there's obviously something strange about the moon. We've all noticed it. Something weird going on. Sometimes it seems like it's not even a real moon, like it's holographic or something. So what that's all about, don't know.
I still am going on the tip that it's a ancient satellite, and it was pulled into orbit. But that's on another tip. We do have another caller here at freedomslips.com is the website, Revolution Radio. This is the Phenomenal ETs with guest Sheilaaliens, and we have area code 805. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi guys. This is MMS Cures or Prozac from chat, and I just wanted to call in and ask a quick question. And actually, I just wanted to say thanks for being here with us, Sheila. It's been great having you. And then my question is this. It's interesting. I've seen correlations between Ancient Aliens and even the History Channel when they're just doing their normal documentary of human evolution. There seems to be that, the missing link, so to speak. And I heard a theory that, I want to just get either one of you can comment on it, just that there was an alien, like a higher power being, or a smarter being anyway, some other life form that actually came and changed our DNA. And it's interesting because the History Channel literally said, without explanation and seemingly overnight, like a very short time, the human brain grew in size dramatically and we populated the Earth, like all four corners kind of thing, with rapid succession after that when we hadn't all the way up until that point. And I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts were on that.
Sheila?
Cool. Yeah, I think that aliens did definitely interfere with something that was already evolving on this planet, and they came and, they bred with the Neanderthals or whatever, or they spliced their genes and made a hybrid. I don't know why they would do that, but it seems like that's what happened, just like how our technology sped up all of a sudden after Roswell. But anytime aliens interfere, it's kind of obvious. I think they definitely played a hand in us being here, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. And all the stories, even the Bible, everything sounds like alien interference. Some lady got pregnant without having sex, and, that sounds like,
Right.
Whatever you call that.
Yeah, it sounds plausible to me. I mean, it makes as much sense as anything, I suppose. And, Tim, what do you think? You think there's something helping us out back in the day, changing our DNA?
I didn't do my homework on that one, and I only have an opinion, and my opinion reeks. I don't know if anyone cares for opinions. I want to do my research on ancient beings here, creating us to the point where we were, cross-breeded with their own, the Anunnaki, and we are an experiment, and they cannot interfere. They will not interfere. If people have hopes, drop them now, because that's not their goal. But then again, that is my opinion. I do not have facts on that. I do not know where we came from, and it was not Adam and Eve. Get that out of your head. That is a great concept, but it is not the way it went down. I am your brother. I am your sister, but we ain't related. No, I feel we are related. I just don't think the Adam and Eve story is panning out in my view.
No, not at all. I don't believe that.
I didn't mean to get on religion. Sorry. I just, like I said, opinion. Great caller. We greatly appreciate that. And he is actually Zach from our chat room here at freedomslips.com, and he's been helping me out, passing me questions, relaying me questions from you listeners out there, and chatters. So I greatly appreciate his help and your help there for posing the questions and keeping the chat going here. Sheila has a whole bunch to say, but she needs to hear what you want her to say. What the questions you have for her, because she could just go on all day, right, Sheila?
Yeah, that's me. Yep.
That's it. So I'm sure you're going to do a video after this and say how well it went, and maybe post a UFO or something in there, and just send out the message.
I had a question for you. Am I allowed to post this after? I know you guys have archives that they pay for, so am I allowed to post the whole interview or not?
Yeah. If you'd like, I do have access to the archives, and I can download them tomorrow. And I don't know how I can send them to you. Maybe of like a file share program or something. And I can get, because obviously the file would be, 2 hours long. So, yeah.
That shouldn't be that big. If it's like, whatever file it is, you can attach it and send it through your email service. Oh,
even that being that long, okay. I'm not privy to all that good stuff. But yes, for sure, tomorrow we'll have the archive. And you can definitely send it out. Well, show your friends that you were on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, and we would definitely love to have you back. And
hey, Tim, have you gotten through all these callers? You got 3?
Yeah. Oh no, I do know. I'm
okay.
Trying to say that this is not the end of our interview, because we don't even have you for 2 hours already. We started late, so you got to stick with us. 805 was just had his question answered, and we have area code 504. You're on the air.
Hey, Sheila, and hey, guys. This is Debbie, Truth Rules, out of the Duchess Group, and I've got a question for Sheila. Sheila, you said you pick up a lot of your sightings through, like, your local webcams in your city?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you, do you check out many of the volcano-type webcams? And it seems like I heard there was a lot of activity there. Have you seen activity in those kind of webcams, or which ones have you found most interesting?
Yes. Well, just last night I saw a video someone posted on YouTube of a volcano in Iceland, and it's actually a streaming webcam, so it's like a video, and it shows 2 orbs floating away, and they're right there by the Iceland volcano. So just search for volcano Iceland UFOs, I guess, and make sure that it's the most recent results, and hopefully you'll find it. I might post it, but so that one's very interesting. There's a list somewhere online of all the webcams for volcanoes. Cote in Mexico has a lot of UFOs flying around it, I've noticed. And there's one in Chile, I think it was. So yeah, the volcanoes, they seem to be pretty active. I'll post the links to those that I just mentioned on a bulletin if you want to check out my MySpace, my YouTube, after the interview. So I definitely say it's worth looking into to look at the volcano weapons because it's weird. Mm-hmm.
Great
cool.
question.
Okay. Yeah, I was just, I know that, I've been dropping down a lot of these hard storms that's been going on and watching the live feed webcams in different cities. And, I just wondered if, it's like storm fronts or the volcanoes or just what different types of webcams you've looked at that were most active. And I thought volcanoes would probably be at the top of that list. But appreciate that information. I'll look for this.
Okay,
great.
Thank you.
Great. Area code 540. Is this your first time calling in or visiting us?
No, I talked to y'all last week or so.
Great.
What was on? Anyway. I forget. Anyway, I really appreciate your show.
Because we like to cover those volcanoes. We like to cover what's going on around the world. So there's more platform for it on other shows. But yeah, so definitely, like, if it was not your first time, then tune in because we keep talking about it.
Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Great. Thanks. Yeah, that was a pretty good call. We do have questions coming in from the chat room. We've got a bunch of comments and what have you. I think people really take into listening to you and what you have to say. It is your first time here, so I guess you got to learn. You're learning how things are going, and we take calls, and this is live radio. This is how it's done, and we had a platform for UFOs, ETs, and what have you about 4 or 5 weeks ago here, and I really ran with it. I've tried to get as much hosts getting together and getting guests like yourself. So I'm glad that you've come. And I know it was not so, it wasn't hard to get a hold of you through your videos because you're pretty quick on responding, and you were like, yeah, I'll do this show for sure. But what do you say coming back to us in the future?
That's fine. I'd love to. Definitely.
Cool. Maybe you can get some cool new videos of the UFOs and your opinion on what you think they are.
Yep. I always keep up on the latest UFO stuff, so they can ask me about anything, and I've probably already looked into it. So anything goes.
Okay, cool. That's pretty great. I don't know. That's my tip. I've definitely been doing videos for UFOs. That's what got me on to YouTube. And when I first started myself, I didn't know what they were, and I just wanted to get the word out and get the message out and ask other people what they thought about it. And it's been a journey of mine, and I put the camera away because, now it's not all about filming them. It's about figuring out what they're doing here. And yeah, I tell people UFOs exist, and I would like people to start looking up.
Exactly.
Sorry.
You kind of evolve over time from the first thing that you started doing to, just putting the information out. I think everybody should definitely look up. Go outside and look at the sky. It's beautiful. And if you have a camera, if you're into that, then heck yeah, take it out there if you want to. I'm about to get a new camera, actually, so hopefully my videos will be improving. So we'll see if I catch anything.
Well, I didn't think your videos were bad. What do you mean, like the focus in? The focus on?
Well, I just had an old camera. It's an old Sony Handycam that takes high 8 tapes. Because the night vision is better than the new one. But I just like an HD camera, which is what I'm about to get, and it does have night vision too. So I'm just excited about that.
Yeah, I guess I got my camera, on a knee-jerk reaction because I went down to Washington. I wanted to get a camera, but I should have got one that could film the sky. The night sky.
Yeah.
The night sky, it doesn't film dark, I guess, contrast. So I guess that's what the night vision comes in handy with. And, I didn't get that. So was pretty distraught about that. But then again, I got myself a pair of night vision goggles, and I go out with those, and you can see a lot. You can get to see a lot. Maybe 50. Sorry?
You can see everything that's actually happening.
That's it. That's when I got to see the butterfly-like ships, the fleets of like 10 and 30, and Joanne was the first one to spot them. So it's like, don't call me crazy. She pointed them out. But
how much are those goggles? How much do those run for?
They can run. You can go to your local astronomy store, no joke, and get a pair for under $200. But the way it works is it's lines per millimeter, and I have ones that cost $2,700. They are military grade, Generation 2 plus. Generation 3 is illegal in Canada, so I was going to get those, but I couldn't, which was understandable. But it all has to do with the lines per millimeter and how well you can see images and how brightly they're amped up. So when I got them, you got the whole headgear, and you really look like a geek. But it's a lot better than holding them up with your arms. And we just got some cool lawn chairs, and we'll just like sit back and just watch them for hours and film them, and they come to us. Yeah, they come to us. Sorry, you're cutting out there.
Yeah, I just think that's very beautiful, and that sounds pretty awesome.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We do have another question here. I don't know how long you want to stay with us here, but we have another question from Zesba 9000. If we are being visited by a physical extraterrestrial race, what do you think the likelihood of the Palladians visiting us being factual?
I think it's quite possible. What was that guy's name? He lived in Sweden. Oh, Billy Meyer, back in the 70s. He used to take good pictures of what he says were the Palladian ships, and he got one picture of one of the girls, and she was really pretty. I think that they would be visiting us. Same with the Orions. I think it's a high probability. Those are the ones I'd want to meet instead of the Greys or the Reptilians.
True.
And those are the only ones I'm familiar with. Oh.
Well put. That's very well put. And James Gilliland, when he meditates, he communicates with a certain being from the Palladian star system, and he can tell you all about that. If you visit his site, eseti.org, he's got a great website there, and you can visit him and ask him. Tell me you were on Freedom Slips, and you go, oh yeah, I've been there. He had George. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask him about the cat aliens that he mentioned in one of his videos. Like, there's a picture in the background behind him when he's talking, and it's like some pretty cat girl, and he said that the cat aliens exist, and I wanted to ask him because there's some incident in Russia where some pilots spotted a UFO on radar, and then over the intercom they heard a woman meowing, and I was just wondering if there's a correlation, but I need to know more about those aliens.
Cool.
So
cool. He actually has his radio show on Saturdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I guess that might be 8 p.m. your time, where he goes on, and he's on BBS Radio. Not that I'm trying to promote everyone else, but I love James, and James has been the one who got me on this journey, so I definitely give a shout out to him. So he's the one who started me on this. I mean, maybe the aliens did, right? And I led myself out west, but I had to go. There was something calling me, and it was obviously crazy, ridiculously true that I needed to get out there, and it was for good reason. It opened the doors to everything that I know now about extraterrestrials, and I'm trying to get the word out to people. So, we all start somewhere. And I think,
good job.
Yeah, thanks. And I think, Sheila, you've been doing a great job at your YouTube videos and getting them out, and you do touch upon a lot of subjects. You're not just extraterrestrial orientated, although that is in your name. But, you like to cover different things, and you're not just stuck in a little box, which is what most people nowadays tend to be, and that's what the system is engineered for, so that you're stuck in a little box and you continue to pay taxes and live in fear. Yeah.
Exactly. I just report on what I'm interested in, and I'm interested in a lot of things, and all these things somehow seem to, attract the same type of people, though. So I know a lot of people are also interested in all of these same topics. So I definitely try to report on all of them.
True. That's what good journalism is all about. That's what we do here, freedomslips.com. It's all about different opinions, bringing them to the table, and not claiming you know anything, because that's when you can go wrong. If you claim that you know the truth, we are in search for the truth for our whole lives. No one can ever say that they found it. We're always in search for it. So I think that's a great basis. Exactly. Do you? Is your mother listening? Do you want to give her a shout out? Or?
Hi, Mom. No, she's not listening. She's working right now. She's a night shift nurse. She works like 12-hour shifts. But if she listens to it later and doesn't kill me for what I told everybody, hi, Mom. Love you.
Oh, for sure. Well, you know what? We can always rebroadcast this show throughout the day tomorrow. So if she wants to tune in and not wait for her daughter to get around to sending her that link, she can probably listen to us, because we'll probably rebroadcast it. It was a great show. And we were just waiting for the overnight crew to hop in here at Skype. Joey Diamond here is a co-host, and he will be doing the overnight show, and he is from the West Coast, so that's why he's 3 hours behind. And it makes sense for him to go on, because it's still only 9 o'clock. You know how it is. So, anything on your mind before we conclude this interview? Anything that you wanted to say? Any kind of shout-outs? Any kind of links? Any, besides your YouTube? Anything you want to say?
I know I probably should have something good to say, but just check out my YouTube. It's youtube.com/Sheilaaliens, and shout out to all my friends who are always talking on my channel. They basically use it like a chat room, and I love that. Like Andrea, Larry, Alan, and everybody.
Tim.
I love you guys, and you guys. Tim and Stonely, the wizard who just threw the grenade at me when he called. You guys are great.
Potato. I used to play that when I was growing up, for sure. Well, we thank you, Sheilaaliens, and anyone who wants to follow her, you can visit her, like she said, on YouTube. Check her out. She's there in the flesh. She's every day posting great videos for you. So check her out, and we'd love to get her back on the show in the future. And we also have a roundtable, Sheila. So we talk about everything, and anything that's on the table, we just shoot the poo and we talk about whatever's on our mind. So. I know you've been tuning in. I know you've been coming to our chat room. So those are Fridays and Saturday nights. So if you feel like you want to get a word in there, call us and let us know. And we'll keep in touch via email for your archive for the show. And I think that will conclude it. So I thank you.
I'll definitely lurk on the chat room.
Great, and I greatly appreciate you joining us. Thanks a lot for your time, and have a great night. Sheilaaliens, YouTube sensation, joined us here. So thanks a lot, and enjoy your night.
You too.
All right,
cool.
Y'all have a good one. See you later, Tim, and Sheila, and random caller. Night, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
I'll stick around for a sec here, if that's all right.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I gotta hang this call up. I need you to call me so I'll be able to forward you the phones.
Yep, bye.
All right, boss.
Oh, Lordy. There he is.
What's up, brother?
What's up, JoJo?
How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Didn't mean to, yell at you or anything. I was just so... Dude, I haven't stopped since I got home. It started with your call the minute I walked in the door, and it has not ceased since.
I'm sorry. No, I as you've seen, I have the worst luck for that. I was just a little concerned because it's like I was talking to you, and I could tell you were in a hurry, and then I just heard Kevin say, call back, and then the phone went dead. So I was like, what? I was just talking.
Is not in service.
I didn't know.
Please check the number and try your call again.
Oh, Jesus. Chevs. Oh, my God. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I didn't. Kevin was on another call. I didn't know. I thought he was just over there sitting there talking to himself like he does most of the time. So, because he's usually yelling. Hey, pull Tim in there. I can't.
All right.
And let me get the phones forwarded to you. Joey Dunham and. All right.
I'm looking for him. There he is. Here he comes.
All right.
Is that a picture of his ugly mug too? Oh, is that Tim? Are you there, Tim?
Yes,
that's Corky.
Corky. He was my hero. Growing up, and Urkel was.
See if I can get y'all's audio straightened out now. That was rough. She was like really quiet. You were fine, Tim, but that's the reason I was having you turn down so I could crank her all the way the hell up.
Yeah, she was calling in via cell phone. She has Skype, I think, but I guess she wasn't at home at the moment. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to compress the piss out of that archive so everybody can hear any of it. I think I got it okay about 20 minutes in, but I was so busy dealing with the hackalackers there. It was like, okay, what do I do? Work on the audio, or do I get rid of the people that keep knocking us offline? We had DDoSs, and of course American Airline's going to try to take credit, but I honestly don't think he has any access to China Telecom. So.
Can I ask a question about that? He had called in at the beginning of the show. He lived up to his part of the bargain. He called in with his number not blocked.
No, that wasn't his number.
I know. Let's just roll with that one. And he was not vulgar. He did his thing. Great. Okay. But we had to get on with my show. What happened in the chat room? Did he start kamikaze or what?
No, he didn't do nothing in the chat room.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
he got about halfway into the call. I thought my wife hung up on him, but I got to look and it just said call disconnected. So he must hung up on his end, but he was ripping on somebody else's number. And then so we called that person that it came from and got hold of some lady he used to work for and tell him about it.
Oh, yeah, it seems a little pussbag used to work in a call center. He got fired after 3 weeks.
How can you get fired after 3 weeks? I mean, 3 weeks is still your trial.
Well, come on, we know how much he sucks. I mean, that's a given. I wouldn't have put up with his shit that long. She must be a very patient lady.
Well, tell him the whole story. What he's doing to her.
Yeah, he's spreading her number. She's been getting calls all night. This has happened once before, and now all night long she's been getting calls from different websites and people harassing her as well. But she's bringing all her information to the local PD, and then they'll get in touch with us tomorrow, and we'll forward all the info we have, which is a lot.
Yeah, she gave us the goods, man. I knew if we waited long enough and ignored him long enough, he'd step up over the plate. He'd peek his head over the hay bale.
Pew! Pew!
Don't psyop me. I'm better.
Taking him out with pop shots now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's called the honey pot, man. I mean, it's when people try to psyop you can't beat them by just trying to fight with him. You got to psyop him back. Once we got his kind of profile and I figured out what kind of person he was, he's in need of attention. Well, he wasn't getting any attention because after playing with him for a while, I went ahead and perma-blocked him from everywhere, which means he had to come out of some kind of legitimate source. So that's how we got him. He popped up with that number, and we managed to track him back from there. And get his real name, too.
That's why you gave him a shout-out, too.
Yeah.
Say the name. What's the name again? Joseph?
What What was that name, Cat? Oh, he ran to the other room. I don't remember now.
Yeah, it took me a second to catch on.
Well, hell, he may be calling in from a different number now.
Joseph Diamond.
Joseph, Joey, how's it going?
Brother?
Not much. Oh, we got a call.
Joey Diamond.
We got a call.
Joey Diamond.
916.
Joey Diamond.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's your number, brother. This is Master of Many Things. Look at the number, Joey. This is your phone number. I just wanted to show everybody that I am Master of Many Things, and Arian has the fucking skills of my 10-year-old.
Is that really your number, Joey? Is that really your number?
That's my cell, yeah.
Wow! How did you do that?
That's nobody's business.
Master of Many Things is not a fallacy, Tim. I told you that. You doubted me. Arian, you're not shit.
It took me a second to realize. I was like, damn, that number looks familiar.
I bet it does.
Yeah.
Oh. Joey, eh? You looked over your shoulder. Was he like the Scream movie?
Oh, Lord.
Awesome.
So, true. So, Joey, I'm looking at your picture here, and do you want to elaborate for me, or?
You like that? That's my foot. That was the good one.
I know.
Yeah,
what happened?
Where is your ass? Because I'm going to put this in it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Bad reaction to my meds or something. I finally found a doctor who's willing to work with me and get me off the Norcos, but I think I'm having a reaction to them, being on them so long.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, because, all they tell you that edema is caused by a million different things. They're just like, just keep your feet elevated, and if it gets extreme, then you need to come back down here if it starts to change color. But other than that,
they put you on some diuretics, or?
No.
Yeah, I had that happen in one foot to me one year, and I went down to Walmart and loaded up on water pills and peed my brains out, and it finally went away. But I don't know. Mine could have been heart, could have been liver. Who the hell knows? I treated myself like hell for years and years and years and years. Wow, can anybody even hear me? How's that? Check.
Loud and clear.
There we go.
Yeah, I did the same thing too. So like I said, I'm lucky. I mean, I'm still doing better than my dad. He had already had 3 heart attacks by the time he was my age. So knock on wood. Knock on wood.
You know that's press board. Don't fake it. Your desk is press board. It's not wood.
Deal, buddy. That's the wood there.
Yeah, I got no wood around me, man.
Quit beating on your wood.
Yeah.
Quit beating your wood on air, man. Yeah, it's after midnight, folks. I can say that. It's after midnight where I am, so I don't know about you, but that's not my problem.
What is going on with these earthquakes again today?
I'm telling you, it's of course we got more Terrell info, which I'm not really going to share. It's all this crap's going to even out here in a couple of weeks once that's all good and good. No, I ain't like that. We're just going to let it ride out. Because regardless of what's going on, folks, this comet is not your problem. There might be something else out there that's creating this, because we are getting earthquakes in the weirdest ass places. What the hell? Virginia? Middle of Virginia? Bam, 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 day after day after day. Colorado, where, all these places where we don't have earthquakes, that's weird enough to set off my alarms, if nothing else. But now we're seeing these pictures coming in from the southern atmosphere where Arizona has continuously said it's coming from. So, who knows, man? I don't know. I'm not going to tell anybody one way or another. Be ready, but I personally, I'm ready for empty store shelves. That's what I'm ready for. If the whole world catches on fire, whatever, I'm done anyway, man. And if everybody talks about these solar flares that come all the way to the ground, whether it burns everything out, I don't care if you're in a cave or not, it's going to burn all the oxygen off in the atmosphere, kill all the trees. It's going to take years and years and years for the ecosphere to rebuild itself, and I don't think people are going to be real good at adapting to a tenth of the natural oxygen level, and then you got to wait for the sun to come back to normal, and you got to wait for some kind of plant life to come back. Most of the oxygen on this planet, they say it's the rainforest. Well, it's a good chunk of it, but most of the oxygen on this planet comes from algae and molds and stuff like that. That's where most of it comes from, so I don't know. Something like that happens, I really don't care. I really don't feel like riding around on a rail in the desert with a naked, chained up bald guy in the back and everybody can leave the road warrior stuff and go have fun. That ain't my thing.
2 days ago, I saw a tanker big enough to hold me. Want to get out of here? Talk to me.
Oh, Lordy.
I love that freaking movie.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was going through my movie director the other night, and I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'll watch Deep Impact again. And I hadn't seen it in a while, and I just recently, just to go back and look at it, downloaded the 1080p version of it, where you can like see people's individual hair follicles. It freaks me out sometimes when I'm watching it. Jeez, what? You don't realize how ugly people are until they're in HD.
Exactly.
So anyway, there's the part where they send the pictures off to the astronomer, and which I always did like that actor. He was I can't remember his name. It started out in American Graffiti, but anyway, they sent a picture, and he's like, oh, buddy, look where you're going. And they run it up, and right the minute I see the screen, I'm like, oh, shit, I got to go back and look at that. And I click back, and I go on, and it's like trajectory date 11/7. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
That's crazy.
Isn't that one of the Terrell dates or something? I don't know.
I believe it is.
Yeah, so I'm like, but is it art imitating life, or is it life imitating art? Did he grab that date from the movie? Because he always says Ellie, and I think he's enamored with that damn movie, so. And that's what they called it in there. So did some of that information come from that movie? Because he's mentioned it many times before.
Right.
And Dr. Waterman says, for somebody that seriously believes the Earth's going to end in 2 weeks, he kind of has a disconnect. He doesn't. If you knew for a fact, and you were 100% in belief that everything's going to go to crap in the next month, would you be on the radio?
No.
Or would you be digging a hole if you really thought you were going to go through it, live through it?
I'd be digging a hole, and I would have wasted talking on the radio and on YouTube months ago.
Yeah.
I'd have gave one last final shout out to all my YouTubers, and I would have got on every radio station I could for the last 10 minutes, and then I'd have been like, this is the last time you're going to hear from me.
Yeah, I'm taking my box of cornflakes and my bucket of beans, and I'm not telling you where the hell I'm going. I'm gone. Bye-bye.
Exactly. So that's, like you said, you want it's a big giant group of people with weapons and stuff heading up to the mountains, knowing who you are, so they already got you semi-rounded up.
Oh yeah, well it's like here. Let me read something to you here. Let me go find it.
The easy pluckings for the man to fly by in their Nighthawks or whatever.
This coming from Terrell's group. It says here's part F. We want to be safe and secure as possible in the situation. This is from Terrell and his group. Therefore, we will be assigning a security contingent. Okay. Well, when you start using words like this, I always find that people that unnecessarily use a lot of big words all the time are usually trying to impress people with their smartness. My sister does that. She uses way too many big words in every sentence to try to offset the fact that she can read good, but she doesn't know what she's talking about. Anyway, as part of their duties, they will, and not my sister that calls in, it's my weird sister in Florida. Anyway, back at it. Well, they will be doing a screening for our group members. We certainly do not want to include in our membership someone with an outstanding arrest warrant. This will be a basic screening, blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of stuff. And then they want your full name, name all the members of your group, contact telephone number, permanent address, date of birth, blood typing for everyone, and they want money for supplies and prep items. Please send this information to your... if you are in a financial situation to offer a contribution, we would gather that information as well. You may include that information in the reply email. So we don't need a donate button. That's how we're searching for money. I don't know if he's getting any. So I don't know. I don't know. Everybody does what they do. Harold Camping made what? $30 million?
Listen. On what's that?
On the end of the world, March 15th. Don't you remember when the world ended?
Yeah.
Did you go lay your clothes in the yard for the morning? So when people drove by, they thought you'd been raptured in the yard, and your clothes are just there.
Can I state something?
Yeah.
I know you guys were all on radio, and you guys all have an opinion on radio, and sometimes it differs in facts. I know what you guys are saying with the disconnect, and I know that it is what it is. I had to call a date on it to him on air, specifically get the listeners in, so
that was a good job.
I mean,
Tim.
maybe great, thanks. I really appreciate it, and I think I did it subconsciously, not to call him out, because I'm not that kind of person. You can ask my wife. I do not like that kind of confrontation. But I wanted to subconsciously do it, I guess, and it got him on here, got listeners to start asking questions, and we held him to a date. Now, maybe he got some inside info on it, maybe he didn't, whatever. We're going to hold him to that. Let's see what happens. Don't
yeah,
rush
the thing is, you know, I think we may end up. Sometimes people are chasing a truck and run into the boat. You know what? Does that make sense?
No, I'm from Canada. Sorry, go on.
Oh, okay. Well, you go looking. You go. Sure, you're going to find one thing and find something else way worse. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know, kind of like you know, the radar. Next-red radars has, you know, a definitive distance that it can punch out that is relative to the power of the transmitter. Well, that makes a ring in the sky. But in consequence of finding these rings, we found other things. So although I don't think those radar rings got to do with crap, it's the other stuff that's being found due to what those rings are doing that makes Dutch kind of trip into what he's discovered, you know. So that's scientific theory is just that, it's theory, and sometimes you trip into the truth by accident. And most of the time, hell, look at antibiotics. That was an accident. Left a peanut butter and jelly sandwich laying on the counter, went home on Friday, come back on Monday, we had penicillin.
Exactly.
That's exactly how it happened.
Well, I was going to say, though, when you were reading off of his, I guess you would say, job application, cave application, what does it really matter if you have a police history or not? If the world's going to end and all that crap's going to be wiped out, it's really not going to much matter whether or not you're a wanted felon or not, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, and I'll tell you something else. It doesn't matter if this happens. Well, let's just assume that this happens. It doesn't matter where you are. It's going to be total 100% luck. if you're someplace that is unmarked by the damage. From the polar shift or whatever, it's going to be. I'm serious. It's 100%. If the Earth is spinning and the Earth's crust is breaking up and moving around and rolling around on the mantle, if you're lucky, it's 100% luck. I mean, shoot in the air. It's like shooting arrows straight up in the air and standing there. The best way not to get hit is to stay exactly where you are. Don't run around in circles.
True. Okay. Hey, Nighthawk.
Hey, Acid, what's up?
Hey, buddy. Hey, I'm looking at the Shoutcast server, and I got another IP that's slamming the server.
Did you block them?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Ban them. As soon as they hit, ban
his kids. Ban his cousins. Ban anyone he knows.
Ban his ban.
Ban his butt out of here.
Ban his ban.
It's just ridiculous.
And it's done.
The caves will fill up with water unless the caves are above sea level at the time. Well, the predictions were what? Between 1,000 and 1,500 feet above sea level?
Yeah, well, you know what? Just recently in the North Atlantic, they discovered a mountainous region that was likely some of the highest mountains in the world are now at the bottom of the ocean, under a mile of ocean silt, and it probably sunk 20 million years ago. So I mean, who's to say you can't? What if you could be standing on the top of Mount Ararat or Mount Vesuvius or Mount whatever the hell. And, you'll be up there, and next thing you know, you're on the bottom of the ocean, and, maybe the best place to be is on the bottom of the ocean, because that might come up to the top. I mean, pure luck. It's all pure luck. There's genetic bottlenecks to prove that this has happened before. There has been some really bad things happen to this planet. So, hey, Acid, I'm looking at that IP you added to the ban list. I think you just got somebody that was clicking the stop-start. How many times did it hit?
I lost it. Like about 20 times, it looked like.
Don't worry about 20 times. 9 to 10, usually 20 times. What you're worried about is 10 times a second for 5 minutes or 100 times a second for 5 minutes. That's what I've been dealing with. A lot of these ones where you get 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 times, that's somebody that lost sound and they're clicking stop, start. It's irritating to the server, but that's usually what that is. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that number. That's probably just one of our listeners.
And that's
I unbanned it.
And I'll watch it and we'll see if it comes back hardcore.
Banned them, unbanned. Unbanned them, unbanned.
Yeah, I do that 20 times in my sleep there, Acid.
Yeah, is that the dot? It's the .83 number, right? No, it was the 152. Yeah, see if you can't see the real time, can you?
Yeah.
You can see
I'm
the real.
looking at the view log files.
Okay.
Yeah. Troops. You got phone calls, you got emails. Can you elaborate, or you're going to wait on that?
I can't totally elaborate, but I do know they're bringing off most of the soldiers from Germany home due to some imminent domestic issue within the next 90 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so, there we go. They're bringing home some of the Afghan troops halfway through their tour duty. So, what can I say, man? Whether it be Terrell or something else, I don't know what the hell's going on. I can't tell you what the hell's going on. I'm not going to pretend to tell anybody what the hell's going on. But if you take your eyes and you look around, there's something stinky's afoot, and I'm not sure what it is. I hope we figure it out before it's too damn late. I think it's Joey's big fat foot.
Stinky foot.
That's one ugly foot.
How convenient that it goes along, like they keep saying, with the new movie they're about to release about the mass deaths due to a contagion.
What? What movie's that?
Contagion.
Oh, sorry. Okay, great. I'm writing that down. What about this new one, Contagion? I think I've seen a
right. The trailer is frightening.
I'm writing that down.
Hey,
boss.
has anybody seen Apollo 18 yet?
Yeah, that's another one.
Don't scream. Have you seen it? Did you go see it yet? I was hoping somebody that'd seen it could give me a quick review on it, whether it's just some cheesy monster movie, or if it really follows the conspiracy or the theory that we went back to the moon secretly one more time and got sent back with our and that's why we never came back. We went back to the Apollo 11 landing site again and began to try to explore those. One of the astronauts tried to explore the whatever the hell that is that's right north on the moon of the Apollo 11 landing site. Even on Google Earth there's a question mark. Google Moon. If you go to the Apollo 11 landing site and zoom down on it, you'll see it right above it is this just weird circular set of structures. It's just got a question mark on it.
608, go ahead.
Hey, this is Ramana 9000. I just trying to listen in. I can't get it on my computer, so just go ahead with what you're doing. If I have a comment, I'll throw it out.
Oh, no, we can't have that. We can't have you just sitting tying up the phone line here at Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. That's not how we play it.
Hey,
all right, I'm sorry. I'm really interested in the conversation. I just got what your topic is, so I don't have a comment right this second.
We're flashing the pan chat. It's a junior roundtable.
So it's a coffee table?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Wait, coffee tables are square. Yeah, you're all square anyway.
If it's open topic, I can throw out a question.
Hang on to that. Let's let Hawk finish his thought in his statement.
Okay.
I don't remember what my thought was now. I've already moved on to a whole other dimension. Apollo 18. Yeah, if you go to Google Moon and look above the Apollo 11 site, there's been films that were leaked that nobody knows whether they're real or not, where the astronauts in Apollo 11 had gone in with these, the old cameras, and there was these underground structures that had been abandoned, God knows how many thousands of years ago. They were just kind of open, and plus you got all this other stuff that, dealing with the moon. Of course, how many theories are there? There are theories that we never even went, but we do know for a fact that some of the famous moon pictures were taken on a studio set because they could not get such fantastic high-res color pictures. So they retook them here on Earth, and so people discovered the anomalies there. And they did the same thing for, what was it, Apollo 11, 12, 13. Apollo 14. They went up there, and the guy was getting ready to take the pictures, and he wasn't paying any attention. He took the cap off the lens, and it was pointed straight at the sun, and it just completely fried the camera. So, they didn't get any pictures from 14. They got, movies, but they didn't get any stills from Apollo 14. So, NASA has definitely faked some of the more famous astronaut on the moon pictures because they couldn't get pictures. It's hard to get film to work up there, and it was always grainy, and because your film's getting pummeled by a lot of radiation that you don't get below our atmosphere. So, but anyway, that's like a 9-day discussion on its own. I think we've been there. I just think things were a little different than the public presentation.
Did you hear about this new movie coming out in 2013 release that's called Asylum with Matt Damon and Jodie Foster, about an alien, obviously an alien movie. Jodie Foster's in it. That's pretty cool, no?
Oh yeah, I love Contact. It's probably one of my favorite movies.
Exactly. So this is going to be a they call a thrill chaser movie, whatever. Another question I had: did they come out with the mass of this comet Elenin, or have they not? And if not, why not?
I don't know what the mass, but it's 3.2 kilometers. And everybody needs to quit talking about the coma. That's a little tiny little coma for a tiny little comet. You know, Hale-Bopp was almost 3 million kilometers. A 200,000 kilometer coma ain't nothing. Ain't nothing.
But don't they find the mass of the object first? Is that not it?
Well, the mass of the objects, they can't take it until they got 2 reference points. And so they probably caught it by how much the Jupiter gravity, or what were the 2 planets that got close to? I don't even remember.
Let's go Mercury, Saturn.
No, Saturn's already gotten close to. Oh, okay, here it is. December 1974.
Okay, 18, you are go for landing. We're go for the moon.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Apollo 18 secretly landed on the moon.
First, use the exterior motion sensing cameras.
I gotta document this. He said he never supported it.
Uh-oh, something scared him. He was joking. They were given a classified mission. Uh-oh, they found a Russian space hamlet with a hole in it.
Appear to be tracks made by a possible Soviet cosmonaut.
They weren't given the truth.
Why didn't we know that?
They're inspecting a helmet very closely. God, it's moving in underwear. Oh my God, it's a scary monster.
What you were never meant to see. Something, folks. Inside my suit. I can't get it out. That's our helmet.
What the hell are you doing? Oh my God, he smacked the camera with the hammer.
Do you read me?
And they run. I'm in buggy. It was just attacked by an invisible monster. Okay, so there you have it. I don't know. It was whenever I see previews like that, I'm like, oh, this movie's going to suck because they really don't tell you shit about what it's about.
True.
You never see the monster. It was invisible. It's going to be the Kool-Aid Man.
Now plug up the one for Contagion.
Oh,
yeah, do that one.
Well, see, I can spell Apollo 18.
You guys seen Sorry. Have you guys seen the new Transformer movie? And what do you think about the whole thing of the aliens or the guys being up on the moon and the government lied about it? Is that a little bit odd timing to you, or is it just me?
All the movies that have been on the mainstream have been subtle signs of what's really going on, in my opinion. Steven Spielberg being one of the best historians out there right now. Anyone else?
Oh, I love that new Spielberg movie. Did you see Super 8? I just watched it.
Yes.
I watched it the other day. It was actually pretty good. It was kind of like the Goonies on aliens. It was really pretty neat. All I'm getting is 106 million people infected to date, and nothing else. Wow, what a crappy movie site. Okay, let's try this another way.
6 million people or 6 billion?
6 billion people infected. I don't know.
Stay away from me, man. Stay away from me.
I left the site here. Let's look at the trailer. Okay, that looks like Glenn Close, who needs to stop getting close-ups.
Needs to stop getting closer.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. It's a Warner Brothers badge, but it's red. Oh, no, Batman's coming.
Did you mention seeing anyone who was sick? Anyone on a plane? Yeah.
Well, that's not going close.
No, she said she was jet-lagged.
The average person touches their face 3 to 5 times every waking minute. In between...
Okay, some actor I recognize his name. I can't... Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, go up to your room, honey.
So we
We have a virus, no treatment protocol, and no vaccine this time.
Infection. No. Matt Damon. Vomit.
Last night,
Ambulance. Lawrence Whisper.
Unfortunately, she did die.
Indian doctor. Big surprise.
Mr. Amos, your wife is dead.
What are you talking about? What happened to her? What happened to her?
I've been reading away something to weaponize the bird food. Is that what we're looking at? Someone doesn't have to weaponize the bird food. The birds are doing it.
Harshness. It's transmission. We just need to know which direction.
On day 1, there were 2 people, and then 4, and then 16. In 3 months, it's 1 billion. That's where we're headed.
They're calling out the National Guard. They're moving the president underground. People will
I didn't know Slider was in this movie.
Get away!
It's over. The truth is being kept in the world.
Cook your samples, destroy everything.
Pictures of an empty airport, garbage and dead bodies all over the streets.
It's an emergency.
You can't panic now. I'm going to get you home.
U.S. military forces deployed. Somehow,
Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anyone.
Lawrence Fishburne is still uninfected.
You're taking your time. We're not sick.
No one is immune.
Severe.
It's people will stop faster than we're figuring it out. It's here, safe.
Alright, so go check out. That looks like a pretty cool movie.
Yeah, I told you the trailers that they've shown on TV so far have been awesome. And I like how they're not just blowing you up with, so when you go see it, you've already seen all the best scenes of the movie,
Yeah, and we were talking about that today. I told you today, when I got home, I don't want to sit here. I had to clean a bloody, apparently somebody nicked the aorta in the operating room, and there was blood all over my machine, and I had to, and we don't clean them or fix them. We just take the parts out and throw them away, but I still don't like messing with it. Even though I'm all suited up, it just freaks me out. Bo's trying to get in there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
In the movie?
No, yeah.
I'm joking.
So
hang on, I got him.
What, so you had a tie-back suit on there, Nighthawk?
Yeah, bunny. Well, see, I can't wear the bunny suits. I'm too tall for them, so I don't wear the bunny suits. So I wear scrubs, and then I rubber glove to the elbow and a splash mask.
So they don't supply you with any...
Please check the number and try your call again.
Jeff,
they don't give you or issue you a PPE box or anything?
No. I don't touch the stuff. I got a splash mask, a mask, head suit, bunny, gloves, thick scrubs, all that kind of stuff. And basically, I unscrew the parts and throw them in the trash, or throw them in a infectious diseases bag and replace with new parts. It's still gross. I seldom ever have to do it.
Oh yeah,
I hate it when I do.
I used to clean up. Well, I used to work at a place that they cleaned out fire and water restoration, and we also cleaned up like suicide attempts and everything. It was nasty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the suicide attempts. You know what? My parents used to have a carpet cleaning company, and when I was younger, I'd work for them every now and again and make some extra money. And we had to do that once. It wasn't it was a suicide attempt via shotgun. And I think if you want to attempt suicide, give me a call so I can come over and bag you up. And you can do it inside of a bag and make it easier on the poor people who got to clean up your mess afterwards.
Yeah, I did a job once that this kid, he broke up with his girlfriend. He was so distraught and everything. So what he did, he cut all of his veins in his arms, his legs. I mean...
What, you did this, dude? Get out of
his garage.
Sorry.
I mean, it was nasty.
Yeah. Well, it's like when people are in the hospital, they're already sick, and they're sick. That's even worse. When I got a machine that's down in the TB ward, my hair stands straight up. Because most of that TB is uncurable now. I mean, it's all most of the TB people we're getting back to the point where TB is as deadly as it was in the early 1900s up to the 60s because it's become antibiotic resistant. Because we're consuming too many antibiotics. You can't eat a piece of chicken without eating an antibiotic. You can't eat a piece of beef without eating an antibiotic. So your whole body is, just completely antibiotic overloaded, and it becomes immune to the antibiotics, and then they don't work when you need them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the reason I tell people, you should have a clean house, but don't have a sterile house, because your body never has a chance to fight the little infections that keep your body learning how to defend itself from infections. If you antibacterial everything in your house and bleach everything and just hospitalize everything in your house, you're never exposed to anything. So when you get exposed to something minor, it kicks your ass.
Right. And that's why when people tell that I've been to houses that are just totally immaculate, and I tell them that, and they tell me that I'm crazy. I'm like, yeah, well, then they wonder why their little kid's the sickly kid in class.
Yeah. Well, they've done a study up here at UK, and part of the results was that people who have allergies, like hay fever and all that kind of stuff, their immune systems are so peaked out all the time that they're like 40% less likely to get rhinovirus or the flu because their immune system's already in high gear when it hits you. So, it doesn't have a chance. Bam, gone. So.
Right.
But if we get
to work getting in here, but I don't think he's gonna make it.
Chevs, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing to himself.
We do have Bo in here. Hey, Bo. Bo,
hey, yeah.
Bo, remember this?
What?
Remember this? Shut up some more, and keep shutting up.
Shutting up already.
No, remember that last night? That was a pretty good advice.
Oh yeah. Well, roll down your window just about an inch or two and say, where's the emergency? Because I know there must be an emergency because you had your lights on. And can I be of assistance? You must have pulled me over because you need my help. I don't know if I put it exactly that way, but then number 2 is, am I under arrest? And number 3 is, am I free to go? And then shut now.
Yes. 3 times, though.
Yeah, you guys were just talking about these movies and stuff, and all the stuff they put out in those movies, and, there's just a lot of stuff. It seems almost to be, a coincidence.
Yeah, hey, Bo, can you turn up a little bit? Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, it's just too much of a coincidence. It's Apollo, 20 or who knows how many they had, and, thing with the Transformers, and then there was iRobot a while ago. There was Knowing with the oil well. There was, there's just tons of stuff. This stuff all comes from books, from stories that are even older. So, I often really wonder about that.
Yeah, yeah, I just put the Google Moon link up there in the chat. If everybody will zoom in down on Apollo 11, you'll see a question mark appear above the Apollo 11, which is a circle with some weird stuff in it. And then if you continue to move down into...
Well, you're an astronomer. Yeah, I saw. I think somebody did a YouTube on it too. That's really, that's crazy. But can you confirm for me that Elenin's orbit's going to take it through the solar system only once and then out, never to return? Is that the way the orbit is on Elenin?
It's not a known comet, so there's no way to answer that. But yeah, if you zoom all the way down into 11 even more, you find more really weird things down there around the Apollo 11 site. And sorry, Bo, I'm just trying to finish my thought on this. And they actually landed not where they were supposed. They landed a little bit downfield because if you zoom right down in on the more detailed frame of Apollo 11, if you go to the left. There's a circle there with a question mark, and if you go up, you see some other things. They were intending to land just above that streamer, what looks like some kind of a tunneling system or something, but they couldn't land because it was too rocky. So they almost ran the LEM out of fuel, flying over the top of that, and they just said it was rocky. But what it was is when they came down. Big surprise, they see all this stuff, and they couldn't land on it, so they had to land downfield from it a little bit. And that's why they ended up where they were. And then the whole mission, if you remember, they were supposed to stay in all night until the next, or stay and sleep. Well, they changed that mission all of a sudden, and they had them out of the LEM within 2 hours. Small step for man, and then. And then everything kind of went away for about 6 hours, the TV coverage, everything else. So, that's when supposedly this film was taken of them exploring the closer zone there, just north of the where the LEM landed. So, anyway.
So do you think that stuff about them finding... Well, do you think they went to the dark side of the moon?
I don't think they went to the dark side. Well, maybe they went. They did. Well, it's not really a dark side. It's dark when you know what I'm saying. There's no dark side of the moon, or the back side of the moon. But
it's in tidal lock, so it's got one side pointed away from us all the time.
Right. So, yeah, when we got a black moon or whatever, it's lit on the other side.
Cote 805, go ahead. Oh, hey guys, this is Prozac or MMS Cures again. Just wanted to call in. I thought Hockey touched on a couple real interesting things with the saying, we can't even bite into food anymore without biting into antibiotics, and that is definitely part of the story. I think for sure. So I just want to commend you for bringing that up, because I think that's a real important thing that really should be fleshed out. What is in our food? What are we eating when we're eating our food? And what are we getting from, monoculture and, the topsoil being gone and the nutrients being out of the soil? How do you know what's in your food? And I don't know. For me, that's just fascinating things that I think a lot of people don't know about. So anyways, I want to comment on that, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, the things they put in commercial food are chicken litter, literally. It can be up to a certain percentage. I don't know exactly what that is. They pump them full of growth hormones, which is why they get sick, and they need the antibiotics in the first place. So, yeah, it's just a whole mess.
Oh, yeah, but, chickens are hard to raise, and they're expensive to raise if you raise them without shooting them full of stuff. It's like... I've seen chickens where they'll be fine one day, the next day they got maggots crawling out of their egg hole,
Oh my God!
And you got to kill them, and you don't know what's gotten infected them. So.
Why ain't that extra meat?
Yeah, antibiotic and hormone and, all that toxin-filled meat is what you're getting, and, nobody wants that. Hey, I got to bring something else up. I was watching the game, and it started to rain, and then it hit me, hey, wait a second, all this radioactive rain, and this was Philly, and I know there was something coming in from Pennsylvania about, radioactivity going on, and I just thought, wow, these guys are literally playing in what is most likely very dangerous radioactive level rain right now. And what are the repercussions for that? I mean, how much exposure do they need before trouble starts? I don't know. I was wondering if anybody there might know.
It's cumulative. It keeps building in your system, building up over the years, a lot of it, I think, and Hawk and Pike confirm. And, yeah, I think they're just trying to tell us, hey, you guys better just get used to it, because Well, they're not telling us that, but it looks like we're just going to have to get used to it because we're not going to get rid of this stuff anytime soon. It'll be 200-300 years to clean up Fukushima. Probably, maybe more like 400 years. I don't know. But it's 27 times or 87 times. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, you're fading off on us, Bo.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. It might be my internet connection.
No, I mean, it just sounds like you're really quiet. Probably turn up your volume on your mic just a touch. Probably be okay.
Okay, yeah. I just got to watch it there.
Grinder.
Okay.
What? What if I'm, stealing gold in my sleep?
You can't be stealing gold in your sleep. I watch you while you sleep.
Hey, Bo. Sorry. Did you kill those crickets in your house or what? I don't hear them.
No, and I tried to get one earlier, too. I saw that sucker, and then I got over on top of him, but, man, he was behind this thing quicker and fast.
They're small, eh? They're really small.
Oh, this one's a big one, too. I'm probably just getting slower.
They're having babies in my house, I think.
Hey, Bo.
I know it's coming from there.
I'm looking at that.
Sports Minute. The old saying goes, you see something new every time you go to the ballpark. In the case of Monday night at Tropicana Field.
Yeah, I'm listening to that thing you just posted up here. That's that same noise that was caught in Florida back in February.
It's a haunting sound, if we've ever heard one.
Now, what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
Shut the door.
Professor, were you in your office or in the area when this struck?
I was actually in the subway, but I immediately got a call from my wife who said that the lights were shaking in the house, and the networks have been calling me nonstop.
Yeah, that's that exact same noise that was going on in Florida. I did an audio analysis for that for that one. Does anybody remember that YouTube video? Came out around February, March.
Nope.
You guys there? Yeah, a woman was standing outside, and a noise exactly like that one was caught in the ball game down in Central Florida went on for like 4 or 5 minutes. It was really strange. I grabbed the audio and did an audio analysis on it. There was all kinds of weird stuff going on in that noise.
There's that one I saw in southern Colorado. I believe it was just a big thump sound, only it was huge, on the level of that big of a sound, but it was more of a thumping thing and a regular beat right before that earthquake in southern Colorado.
Yeah, it was Daisy J's. Let me put the YouTube link up here for everybody. And that it really weirded me out when I seen that one you got in your video. I seen it on the thing in the ball game yesterday. I'm like, man, that's that same damn noise that everybody was weirding out about, or that was so weird in Florida back in. Let's see, when was this? It was in March. Is when it was. I'll put the link down here in this chat too. Yeah, if you go listen, it's the same damn noise. I'll play it. This was from March. It is somewhere in Tallahassee, Florida.
I know it's coming from there somewhere.
And it went on for 8 minutes straight, and she shut it off. It was still going on. It sounded like you had a little bit of a piece of that in that video, Bo, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's another theory on this whole earthquake in Virginia and Colorado connection. You hear that report from the Kremlin that they were saying that it was 2 nuclear explosions in the 2.5 mile underground tunnels on either side.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
CIA is fighting with the United States military, if you can imagine that. You believe that?
I saw that. I don't know. That seems like a stretch. I mean, maybe they battle for power a little bit, but an all-out war, with nukes, that's just... I don't know. I'd like to see that confirmed somewhere else, personally. What do you guys think?
It's going to be harder to detect the radiation now with all the extra radiation already there.
The only thing I have to say
Did you guys see what Kevin did on YouTube? Boy, he pissed off the Nibiru Knights.
Why? What happened?
Okay, well, we were discussing all these two suns in the sky crap, and I took the camera on his cell phone, and I showed him what it was doing, how it does it, how it occurs, and so we tested it. And we managed to perfectly, exactly duplicate several other pictures. I mean, it was exactly like a couple other pictures that are out there on YouTube. Look, two suns caught in the sky, you know, and I took a separate picture with a good camera with a filter on it. You know, there wasn't nothing there. It was, you know, it's a lens flare, because if you look at, you know, everybody taking pictures with their cell phone cameras, and if you take your cell phone and you flip it over and you look at that camera lens, you'll see there's a piece of plastic that protects over the top of the camera lens. Well, what happens is these crappy little cameras there are not designed to be pointed at the sun. So when you point it at the sun, the light goes in there, and then it reflects back up into the bottom of that piece of plastic, you know, off to one angle or another, and then you get, you know, that picture of the sun, which is a huge blinding glare, and then you get this fuzzy mess, you know, and that's also an image that's taken of you know, all the light diffusion that's occurring, because, you know, most of us, our cell phone camera lens protector is all scratched up because, you know, it's in our pocket, up our butt, flying across the seat, scooting across the floor, you know, so, you know, you can't be using a cell phone camera to take a picture of anything but Aunt Jane, so...
Yeah, it's all fake. I gotta take all my videos down from YouTube now.
There you go. So anyway, everybody's like, "You dick! Why did you do this? You're an asshole!" Blah 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 blah. All over Kevin's video.
What did he do? I caught one earlier. It didn't seem so bad. What's this one about?
Do what?
So, how are those donations doing tonight?
Nothing today.
Okay. We have to pause for those station IDs on schedule. That's my opinion.
Nothing today.
That's brutal. That's not good here at Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, where we are 100% listener supported. What's up with listener support today? I know that there's quite a few thousand listeners out there. Out of all of those thousands of listeners, we could get $20 out of anybody, out of $1 out of 20 people.
Well, you know, if you know, a lot of our loyal regular listeners have donated, and the rest of them, well, if they don't like it, we just won't be here. I mean, we're pretty close, though. We really, you know, we need to be. I hate doing the panic at the end of the month every month. We get ahead of the game a little bit, we'd be okay.
Exactly. We don't need to do this scrambling for the gates, trying to figure out if it's going to happen or not.
Right. Well, maybe they listen to 1 a.m. and aren't going to pay until we know what's going on, right?
Yeah. Slider.
Hopefully that's not the case. I wish I was on my call. I would have told them, hey, if you don't think it's going to be here, just pay day at a time, you know?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Slider.
How you doing, Slider?
Hey, Slider. I think I made it on here.
You made it.
Yeah, it's staying on so far.
Great.
Was it annoying you guys, or did it keep coming on and off? Or that's all I kept doing was going on and off, on and off. It was
shut
weird.
up, Chevs. Chevs, I need that damn.
One more month.
Hey, Chevs.
I got
Chevs. I need that damn monitor bad, dude. I need to get this overnight server set up so I can walk away and let you guys do this without having to run up and down the stairs all night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll UPS it.
That's too bad that we couldn't do the Winamp remote, because I installed that today and it worked on mine.
Yeah, but you can't control the Winamp on your system remotely. What you can do is access your music from your computer at home. You can't like push play and stop on your computer on 1 amp remote and make it work.
That's totally gay. I'm uninstalling that then.
But you know, if you want to listen to your music that you have in your library at home, you can do it. That's what it's for.
Right.
To access that. But you know, if you use 1 amp remote and click play, it doesn't start playing on your computer. It starts playing wherever you're at. Basically, it's like it's a miniature streaming server, kind of like our Shoutcast and Icecast and 364 servers kind of deal, except for it's for one stream instead of thousands.
Nice. There we dropped Chevs again.
Hey, I want to listen to Slider for a second.
No.
Slider got alien grabbed.
Slider.
Slide one in there, Slider.
Slider wants to do a morning show for us.
Yeah, I just want to keep the radio on air, man. I'm not a host or anything like that. I don't declare to be. But I'm quite willing to be here and produce a show anytime.
Great.
So turn your mic up just a tad, Slider. And guys, I'm going to be heading to bed here in a minute. I got a job in the morning, so.
That's fine. Who has the call?
You do, Joey.
All right. We're here for the duration then.
Kevin gets up. Kevin, if you guys keep going till 6 a.m., Kevin gets up at 6 a.m. and can start the Winamp. So it's up to you guys.
He's got to get the kids up.
Yep. It's so nice to have a teenager. They get themselves up.
Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and step out of here. I'm going to head to bed myself.
Oh, you didn't ask Sheila her question. Your question.
No, I'll keep that to myself.
Oh, Lord. It wasn't for air, or sorry.